All right, Sway City Muay Thai podcast here with Landon and Chase Showalter. Thank you guys for coming on.
What's up, guys?
Yes, sir. Thanks for having
us out.
Absolutely. So you guys just made one hell of a drive all the way down from Arlington.
Yes, it's quite a little jaunt.
Yeah.
It's not too bad, though. I
Wow.
mean, with this sport, you do a lot of driving, so you get used to it.
That's very true.
It's just not at 5 o'clock on a Wednesday.
It's usually like 5 o'clock on a Friday night. Yeah. It's just sometimes worse.
Yeah.
But if anybody asks, it's like 80 something degrees in here. So if anybody notices that we're sweating, that's what's up. But thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah.
So trainer at AKA,
Yep.
Arlington Kickboxing Academy. And how long have you had that, Jim?
So I opened up Arlington Kickboxing in about 2004.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been going for a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say so. That's pretty
I
good.
think 22 years was
Yeah.
this year.
Cool. And obviously, so Jeff always Jeff Hoybe, shout out. He always talks about like how good
Jeff started.
how good of a fighter you were. So we always make the comparison like to you. He's like you're like I've trained under Brian Jones Jr. forever, so he's kind of like that with you.
Yeah. Nope, Jeff is one of my OG students for sure. Came to my I had my second facility. I had when I opened up part-time in a Taekwondo studio to start 3 nights a week, a couple hours a night.
I didn't even know that.
Huh?
I had no idea.
That's how it started. And then they went under and I took it over and just turned it to a kickboxing gym. And then maybe a year after I took that over, I went full-time and moved to another location. That's where Jeff signed up.
Okay.
So maybe about a year into it when Jeff signed up.
Okay.
So long time ago.
Yeah. And now you said that you converted over from mainly Taekwondo to kickboxing. But you mainly fought MMA, is that right? Okay.
Well,
cool.
I did both, but back in,
Did what you could back then.
we took every opportunity that was given to us. We fought in some fucking weird places, and a lot of this shit was illegal, and there were cards where like, hey, if the cops show up, stop doing what you're doing, stop punching each other.
Yeah.
You're just wrestling.
Okay.
And we're like,
one of
okay, type of deal. So it was a different game back then.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, it always reminds me of that movie, Here Comes the Boom.
Oh,
it's like this is bottom level MMA. There's like a chicken running around.
Yeah.
And then Dennis Hallman's gym was always down here in Yelm. And everyone would talk about going to his big barn. They think that like they're going to go get like slaughtered or something. And you open the doors and there's like a bunch of UFC guys in there.
Yeah, I fought there.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, so yeah.
Yeah, I fought in the old Hallman barn. For sure.
Yeah. That's back in the day when they're, that's before my time, but like I started in 2011. But just even then, man, like there's, I think one of the first fight or first show was one of the ones up in Arlington at the old soccer,
Oh, you went to one of the old Axes?
Yeah, Axe, yeah. I can never remember what the name of it was.
Yeah, it was called Axe, and we called that one A-Town Throwdown.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And we only did 2 or 3 of those at the soccer dome.
Miles Coble.
Then
Oh, you fought
my guy.
Miles. Wow.
Then Miles was with me probably at that
I
time.
think so, yeah.
That's
'cause
crazy.
Jeff brought it up, was like, oh yeah, that was one of our guys. So
Good old Cole, yeah.
yeah.
I remember like sleeping under the table. There was a table over there, like concession table in the corner. And I just remember like falling asleep under the speakers and just hanging out there, sleeping in there.
While everything's going on.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I had to
just
take
grew
him
up in
everywhere.
it.
Yeah,
I
dude,
had
I've
to
been
take
in
him
it
everywhere.
everywhere.
He was a baby when I was a single dad. I worked graveyard and I had my kids on the weekends. Well, when did we fight?
Yep.
On the weekends. So in order to make this happen, I just took my kids everywhere. They were literally, I'd be training and they'd shit their pants. I'd have to stop, stop training, run out, clean my kid up, hop back in. That's how I started.
That's the lifestyle for a lot of people. So I've heard that a whole bunch.
It was different. You had to grind.
Yeah.
I didn't have someone to babysit. And if you want it to happen, no one's going to do it for you. You just have to suck it up and make it work. So Chase was literally in a car seat with me from the day he was born, always at the gym.
Yep. Born in it, dude. It's crazy.
Not surprised that you're a fighter then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they always say apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
He wasn't really following the fighting path, though, really. Most of his life he played basketball.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was just around it. So I didn't even train him every day. It's not like he was bugging me to hit pads and stuff. He was into balling. So I said, whatever you do, I'm not going to force you to do anything. But whatever you do it 100%.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to do basketball, then all in on basketball. So we went most of his life is all in on basketball.
Yeah, I played.
You know,
played a
of
little
course,
bit
he
of
played
college,
with kickboxing and stuff. He went to the fights, and he was always around the environment, so he just naturally picks things up.
Right.
But like people think he's like a lifelong trained kid. He's not.
No, just been around.
Just around it his
Yeah.
entire
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
I kind of like. Well, you still, like you said, you absorb a lot just being around
Yeah.
it. So, you see that from a lot of people. But it's funny because Brian Jones has the same thing. His son was all in on soccer.
Yeah.
Just all in on soccer, but hasn't just completely tuned off of fighting.
Yeah,
But,
my girls want nothing to do with fighting. His sisters, I've tried to get all my kids to do it, and none of them really took to it. Even for a while, I was like, Chase didn't even really take to it, right? I mean, he can do it, he likes it, and being around the atmosphere, but he didn't follow my footsteps until after he decided he wanted to fight after high school was over.
Yeah, it was like a few years ago actually. So I kind of have a funny story about it too.
So he's kind of actually, in my eyes, he's green. He's
Okay.
still pretty green. You know,
Okay.
I mean, he's very talented because he's my kid and he's been around it. And he has a lot of natural ability, but he still needs how to learn to fight. You know what I mean? He's only got 2 fights,
yeah.
and so he needs that IQ
And the experience and all
and
that.
experience.
Yeah, the ball knowledge.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, right,
I know
right.
he can take a punch. I know he's a tough kid. I know he's got the ability to throw kicks and punches and all that good stuff. But it's learning the fight game is what he's lagging in.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing that can replace that kind of like ring time or cage time.
No, you can't.
Especially when somebody's actually trying to take your head off.
Yeah.
So like when we took that fight with Olaf, I was told not to take that fight. I go, Chase is not ready for him. I go, if he listens to me, he'll be ready.
Yeah.
You know, I go, if we brawl with him, we're definitely gonna get knocked the fuck out. But I go, but if my kid listens to what I want him to do, I go, we'll win.
Yeah.
We're more athletic and we're faster than him.
Yeah.
So we have to fight.
Shout out Olaf.
Yeah,
Cool
I mean,
dude. He's cool,
Olaf's
dude.
a great guy, but
Yeah.
I knew damn
At a
well
wave?
that.
Yeah, wave
I
combat.
knew that we were quicker than him because I saw some footage, and I'm like, it's a tough fight for sure. And I was a little nervous about taking it for his second fight, but I wanted to also test him.
It's actually last minute too, because I remember the guy that was supposed to fight dropped out. He got hurt or something. I think it was one of your guys.
I don't remember,
Maybe.
Yeah.
but
I don't-
either
I
way,
don't remember.
it was a good test. Olaf put it on him in the third. I thought he was going to take my kid's head off there for a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we made it through, got that decision. It was a good experience for him. It was a test I wanted, though.
Yeah, always fighting up.
Yeah.
Like that's always a good test, especially like right off the bat.
Well, I mean, he's got a little bit of a reputation to live up to. You know, not that I'm going to throw my kid to the wolves or anything, just, but, you know, I had to see where he was at, you know. Talk's cheap.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure. For sure.
Well, and, I mean, it would say something else if you took like an easy fight or a light fight.
Well, it's the same thing.
just
I don't
not
want
good.
people also going, oh, you're gonna handpick your kid's fight.
Right.
No, I'm not afraid to take a tough fight for my kid. Not at all.
Yeah.
But it's got to be a winnable fight. It can't be a one-sided flip-flop.
Right.
You know, it doesn't make. You know, I think he gets. You know, with the right experience, I think he hangs with anybody. But without that experience, no.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think he's as tough as a Dex or those guys, but he doesn't have the experience those guys have.
Right.
He's got 2 fights. Dex has got 15 fights. Who's going to win that fight overall? Well, Dex will probably win that fight because he's got the ring experience.
Yeah.
He knows what to do in places that he hasn't been yet,
yeah. Yeah.
if that makes sense.
For
No,
sure.
definitely.
Dex is a stud, dude.
So, well, I'm just using Dex as an example, but I
Yeah.
mean, I'm saying because he's one of the tougher.
Morgenstern?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
tougher kickboxers in our area. But I think Chase can hang with pretty much anyone.
Yeah.
Um,
From what I've seen,
Talent
he looks
wise,
sharp. Yeah,
talent
like,
wise, but not. He doesn't have the knowledge that would make me feel comfortable taking a fight with a guy with a bunch of fights. If that makes sense.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously, like you had the knee injury.
Yeah,
right?
that sucks.
That's a
Yeah.
big setback. That's
2 years.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not surprising. Just, I mean,
I don't recommend it.
well,
I
no,
will say
yeah.
that. I don't recommend it. That sucked.
And so, what exactly happened?
I was running. Long story short, I was just, I was training actually. I can't remember.
You were getting ready for.
I was getting ready for another fight.
Well, you were going to fight. You were going to fight for the war title.
170. Yeah.
Mac. You were going to fight Mac.
I was gonna fight Macron Jones.
Okay.
Right. That's his last name, right?
You
Joe?
can't remember. Yeah.
Macron. And I was running and I just stepped wrong and then pop, just hit the
Oh.
ground, and I kind of was confused too because I was like looking around like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
And then I looked at my knee and I was like, oh, yeah, that's toast. And so luckily someone was close by, helped me up, and he, got me up and got me home. But yeah, Yeah, I tore my ACL, both my meniscus, and then sprained my LCL and MCL.
Jeez.
Just from running.
Yeah, just one wrong step.
Yep.
It was just one of those things we had to make a decision. He's young enough to get the surgery. Like I have blown out, my knees are toast too, but I didn't get the surgery. I fought through my whole career with a bad knee.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I came into fighting with a blown out meniscus.
Damn.
And did it multiple times through my career, but it was different. I just didn't want to take the time off, so I just fucking taped it.
Not that like it's not tough now, but I noticed like the more we go back in generations, just people more and more of that. Just like I'm just not gonna take the time off.
I asked my doctor how long, if I get surgery, how long will I be out, and he said at least 2 years. I said I'm not doing it. He goes, well, if you don't, it's gonna happen again. I go, I'll deal with it when it happens again. I go, but are you paying my bills?
Yeah.
They're like, well, no. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go fight.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the difference with opportunity for Chase is he can take as much time as he wants, whatever. I mean, his journey is his journey. The difference between kids now is like we didn't know how to fight. We just fought. We learned as we fought.
Yeah.
These kids are learning in the gym. They're getting better. They're a lot more talented than we were. You know,
A lot of avenues of resources.
a lot of avenues and resources. They don't have to learn in the ring. So that's a bonus for So I said, do it right. If you're gonna do it right. Back then, I didn't have time for that shit. I had to get paid. I was fighting for different reasons.
Yep.
Yeah, I was fighting to eat. So
I feel like a lot of the difference too nowadays is it's more of a sport than it is just fighting. Like a lot of going into that is like, you know, a lot of these kids now are watching UFC. It's more popular. It's a bigger thing, so everybody wants to do it now. Versus when I was little, growing up with him, we would go to Safeway and he would be like talking about it. He's like, "Hey man, like, gotta be careful because some people it's frowned upon a lot of times too."
Yeah.
So
it was illegal when I started.
yeah, so it's kind of weird sometimes walking into like a Walmart and then I got people like, "Oh, do you see the Dustin Poirier fight or did you see the the Paddy Pimblett fight now?"
Yeah.
Versus like back then, I would not hear that, and I would just hear him talking about it and my dad and being around it and everything. And now that I show people, old pictures of my dad with like Tito or hanging out with like Robbie Lawler or something like that, they're like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "Dude, I've been around it my whole life."
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
This is nothing new. And they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, nothing new."
I think that it's cool that people see that and they're like, because they associate that I think with celebrity status versus like athlete status. And you meet other fighters just because you're in the sport and just kind of attribute to what you were saying.
For sure.
Yeah, like I talked to I grew up with DJ and Josh Barnett, and those guys are just DJ and Josh to me.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Is that DJ?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "You know him?" I'm going, "Yeah, I've known him since he was a kid. He's just DJ, man." But he's famous
One of the
now,
goats.
Hall of Famer, and all this. And that. I knew
Yeah.
he was going to be special when I met him. But to me, I was bullshitting with Randy when he was up. Like Randy's just Randy to me.
But
That
is
is
pretty cool.
But he's done movies and he's a legend and he's done all these things. But to me, it's just like, "What's up, Randy?" Knuckle bumps is just normal. I know him because he commentated my fights when I was fighting Leben back in the day.
Yeah.
It was no big deal to So it's definitely become more of a celebrity type of thing now.
Yeah.
Back when I was fighting, everybody knew everybody. Everybody fought everybody. It was whatever.
And the sport was a good amount smaller back then.
It was tiny.
It's well, like you said, it's illegal in the places that they're fighting where it isn't illegal. It's a big show usually.
Yep, and well, luckily I came up under Charlie, so he did acts, and so I had a pretty good, decent amateur organization to come up on. But back then the acts was like it.
Yeah.
There was acts. What else was there? Hallman's little shows here and there. Whenever most of our fights, we did a lot of traveling back then. We drove a lot,
rough.
Dude.
I drove to Bend, Oregon to do an amateur fight.
Yeah.
We drove to Portland. I do one-day Portland trips all the time.
Yeah. Probably Canada a bunch.
Canada, it was just that's what you had to do to fight back then.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got paid, sometimes you didn't. Sometimes it was pro, sometimes it was amateur. It was
Sometimes you don't really know.
You don't really know. You're
Yeah.
like, I'll throw you $100 if you do this or some shit.
That's what Brian talks about all the time.
Yeah, it was just like my first pro fight was like 100 and 100.
That's crazy.
I was just happy. I had beer money at the end.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I can buy beer after this.
Yeah.
Fucking sweet,
Look, yeah.
badass, And some of the fights I took when I was fighting back then, they're $1 million fights now.
Yeah.
And I fought them for pennies. literally
nuts.
pennies.
Well, kind of a pioneer in the sport. Just so
I
because
guess,
if without people doing that kind of stuff, it doesn't get the interest that sparks to actually make the millions. Like, think about the opportunities your son has now because of the fact that you went out and did all these things.
Yep,
like,
we did all the crazy shit and did all the stupid shit and got through all the we had to go to court and get it legal and all those things.
Carve the path.
Yep, and now it's kind of like a kick in the dick. I'd be like, man, I fought Robbie Lawler for fucking $600
for nothing.
for $600, right?
And that was back before a lot of shit was televised the way it is
Yeah,
now, so you can't like go flashback a
No,
little bit, but
no,
not.
No, I was like that. That fight would have made me millions of dollars these days.
Yeah,
They do show it though, fastest knockout. Robbie Lawler's fastest knockout to you.
Well, because I'm on the ass end of it.
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm on TV, dude. It's me.
No, but just different. So I mean, I fought Lieben, $300.
Yeah.
2 days notice. World title. It's just different. We didn't get paid back then. We were doing it to do it.
Yeah.
To build it.
The cool thing though is not everybody can say they did it too.
Well, it's kind of like what you get for leaving a legacy, right? Like you have a legacy even though you didn't get paid for it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so,
well,
it'll always be there.
But on the flip side of that, if I didn't do these things, I wouldn't have a career.
Right.
I wouldn't have turned it into. I mean, yeah, I didn't get paid big money fighting, but I created a gym.
You created a name.
I
for
created,
yourself.
and I went out and I traveled the world. I fought in other countries.
Yeah.
My intentions weren't to be famous anyway when I started this sport. It was just it was an avenue for me.
Well, you were talking about experience and specifically ring experience earlier, but you got the experience of the lifetime that most people couldn't pay for if they had the money.
Exactly.
There's always a sacrifice, right? But like that guy that lives on the computer, lives in the cubicle, can't wait for Saturday night to watch a couple dudes beat the hell out of each other. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like the sport exists because of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, we definitely had our place in this journey, and now I'm very pleased to see where it's gone.
Yeah.
And it gives me a life. It gives me, I have a job.
Yeah.
I have a promotion, and I still do what I still am doing what I love for a living. So I can't bitch whether I made $1 million fighting Robbie Lawler or $600 fighting Robbie Lawler. You got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And now that the sport, the sport almost went under.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for the Ultimate Fighter, none of us would be sitting here.
Exactly.
Right now,
Yep.
And it was pretty cool because I had friends that were on that show, and in a way, so it's kind of a part of that piece a little bit. I was in the mix with that. Wasn't on the Ultimate Fighter, but my homie was on there.
Nice.
And that show alone saved the sport.
Yes, I agree. Especially with
Well, they were going bankrupt. They were going bankrupt, and if that show didn't kick off, UFC was done.
Okay.
That was their last
one. Oh,
effort.
really?
If they made that show because they were bankrupt, and the Fertittas bought it and made Dana the president and said, if this show doesn't work, we're done. But we'll invest this money into it now.
Okay.
And
I do remember
if
him
it
mentioning
kicks
that.
off, then it kicks off, and it did. Now look where it's at.
I didn't realize it was like that that close to going under.
If it wasn't for Ultimate Fighter Season 1, there would be no UFC right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
You think about how many people and how many people have come and gone just because of that one show. Because I listen on like Joe Rogan, he's like, people are calling each other, fucking turn on this fight right now. It was the Griffin Bonner fight.
Mm-hmm. Stephen Bonner.
Yeah, Stephen Bonner.
Yep.
Crazy.
Just that's shit is wild that
It's
it has come
lineage.
so far. Yes, lineage is so important.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, I talk about that all the time with what I come from and stuff. Same kind of thing. You're talking about lineage. You have it sitting right here, 2 generations. Right?
I'm lucky enough to have my dad, dude. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like I go around and I like kind of hear the people that are training at other gyms and stuff like that. Obviously, there's great gyms, right? And then there's some that aren't. And then I'm like, I have a world-class coach. Like seriously, and that's kind of how like I was thinking about obviously starting and training consistently and being in the sport.
Yeah.
Obviously, like we mentioned, I've been around it since I was that big, like tiny. But it was a buddy of mine was what really it was like, dude, your dad's a coach.
Yeah.
Your dad has a gym, right? Why are you not training? Like you're wasting your time. Like you're wasting your talent. You could be there right now. And I was like, shit, you're right. Then literally the next day, I was like, Dad, I want to train.
Well, for me, I was like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to go down this path? Because, he's a smart kid, good-looking kid. He can do anything.
Right.
And as a parent, do you really want to see your kid get their head bashed in all the time? Not necessarily.
Right.
I did it because I wanted to give him an avenue where he didn't have to do that shit to survive.
Yeah.
I kind of had to do what I'm doing. I mean, I could have been, I could have went and been a grocery clerk, which I was for many years. Fuck.
I worked at Winco for many
You
years
want to
too.
shoot yourself, fucking do that bullshit for a bunch of years. So, for me, it was getting out of dead-end jobs and finding my avenue, and this was my thing for him. I was like, you could be a firefighter, you could be a cop, you could go to the military, you could do anything.
Right.
You graduated, you're smart, you're good-looking, can do whatever. But he I was like, okay, but if you're gonna do it,
We're gonna do it.
we're gonna do it. And I'm like, I'm not gonna go easier on you. If anything, I'm gonna fucking be harder.
Oh, he's
on you.
way harder on me, dude.
That's kind of how it should be, in my opinion, too.
Yeah.
And if
FTs are fun.
there's been times where I've gotten pissed at him. I said, get the fuck out of my gym. Don't talk to me that way. I'm not your fucking dad right now.
Yeah.
I'm your coach. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear your fucking excuses or leave.
Yeah.
And he'll shut up
He-
eventually. But
He literally, dude, it's funny. I remember this. We were doing the 5-minute plank. I can't remember what I said, but you were like, get up and stand outside. He made me stand outside the gym for like a good 10 seconds. He goes, get in here, shut the fuck up, and get back out there. Maybe redo the 5 minutes I said. So that was awesome.
I just wanted him to do it right.
It sets the example for the rest of the students. Like,
Yeah.
we're not going to go easier on anybody just because for any circumstance. If anything,
No
like, you
shortcuts.
need to go harder. Yeah.
No.
Same. I love that because it's kind of funny because Brian Jones, I call him my Muay Thai dad.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing though. And like, my dad was in management for my whole life, and then I got into management just right away when I was like 18. They're like, "Oh, you could do this. You can teach this." But I would just have them go and. You find yourself kind of going into these things, but I kind of like that your friend was like, "Hey, dumbass,
Yeah, what the
get
fuck are
into
you
this shit." Yeah, like you said, there's gyms where people don't necessarily recommend, and there's gyms that people definitely recommend.
Yeah.
And so even having your friend recognize that and put you in there, that's
Yeah.
pretty special.
Yeah, dude, actually, it's funny. I still text him to this day. I'm like, dude,
Who are you
like,
talking about, Brandon?
my buddy. It's funny. He works at Alderwood Mall, and I don't know how we ended up being friends. Honestly, I have no idea.
Okay.
He's just a cool dude. We just hit it off, bro. We're homies, and I just walked in there because he worked at Zoomies, and I walked in there and I'm like looking at a shirt or whatever, and he's like, we're just chatting back and forth, bullshitting, and then that's where that got brought up because he goes, "Hey, what are you doing? Like, what's up with you? Like, what's new?" And I just told him, "I'm just hanging out," and he goes, "Okay," and he's like, "Okay, cool," and he goes, "Doesn't your dad fight?" And then I was like, yeah. And he goes, that's where he said it. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He like literally looked at me. He goes, "Your dad owns a gym. Fucking, world-class fighter, dude. The coaches, like, why are you not training?" And then that's literally the next day. I kid you not. I told him, I was like, "Yeah, I want to start training."
And did that conversation just kind of open your eyes to the potential that you weren't tapping into, or
Yeah, because I've always been around it, like we've talked about, and I've always like dabbled in it and stopped, and then
It's not a big deal to him, right?
Yeah, because I've been around it, so it's just like part of my life. It's just like I don't need to do it, And
it's not some big cool thing, or
yeah, because I was always going every weekend to the fights and stuff like that. So a little bit of me was like, okay, it's just another Saturday. We're gonna be here. I love doing it. I love being around my dad. Like that was like the most. Like, it was badass. I got to go to school, and then people were like, "Dude, your fucking dad's scary," and I was like, "Yeah, he'll fuck your dad up," So, but it was cool. But that was for sure the conversation where I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, why would I not, do it?" Because you see, like, I know obviously this is a different situation, but it could be even his dad.
Right.
You look at that. His dad trained him from when he was little. And so I kind of looked at that, and I've had people kind of like, "Oh yeah, your dad, and you kind of remind me of that." So it's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Like you talked about lineage earlier. Like a father-son lineage, that's pretty special. And a lot of like older martial arts, it's passed down through families and stuff, and it's smaller extensions of that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't come from much, so this would be creating a lineage for my family.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do.
It's working.
Here.
Well, that's special. Like, that's not something that is common in society really anymore. So, like, we talked about like all the Think about any sort of industry. You worked in the grocery industry. I did too. Like, you're not really passing much down when that. Like, I mean,
No.
maybe if you own a grocery store per se, you're passing a business on. But
Yeah.
You were passing one dead ass job to another.
exactly. Especially when it comes to like something that, if it was a dead end job and you got that passed on to you, you're like, I don't fucking want to do this.
Yeah.
You'd be like your dad, work at the grocery store forever. Fuck that, dude.
And I think a lot of part of it too is like, because like you mentioned and like you said too, is like, oh yeah, you know, like a lot of expectations. You know, you're my kid and you have my last name. But I feel like that's a big thing to like prove people. You
Well,
know?
that's the
I'm not just his kid. Like I'm me too. You know.
Yeah, you're Chase. You're Chase
Yeah,
Showalter.
yeah.
But
My
you're
journey's
going to
different.
have that little tag on you.
Yeah, for sure.
And
But that's what also helps me.
Well, it helps you, and it doesn't help you. There's times where, I think it's an even fight, but they won't take the fight just because you're my kid. And I'm just like, just because he's my kid doesn't mean he's been fighting his whole life. But they're just they're paranoid to take the fight because you're my son.
Sure.
And so
They know you're gonna work me harder than anyone else too.
yeah, you're not gonna go in there looking like a dipshit. You know?
No.
And I mean, if you go in there and get your ass kicked, but you trained hard and the guy's just better than you, then it is what it is. But if you go in there and you lay an egg because you didn't train right or you didn't take it serious, then there's a problem. I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Everyone loses if you do the sport long enough. I don't know one person that's done this sport other than Khabib, who's that goes undefeated.
John Jones.
And John Jones, whatever. But there's one or two of them out there.
But
in
still,
reality,
I
mean, look
rare.
at Randy Couture. He's got a 50-50 record. Most of us old schoolers have losing records or 50-50 records. The ones that because we created this shit. We were
Well, because you just walked in or fight anybody.
No, they just like, who's that guy? Fucking Randy Couture. You want to fight him tomorrow? Sure. Why the fuck not? I mean, that's how things went. I didn't worry
There's
about.
no record to protect back then or anything.
I mean, so many of our fights aren't even on any databases. I mean, they don't exist, but they're there. We did them. But there was Sherdog back then.
Yeah, exactly.
And they weren't that good at staying up with. I mean, how is one company going to stay up with all the fighters in the U.S.?
No, I know. And Northwest Fight Challenge, or not Fight Challenge.
They tried, but
Yeah, I have old
scene,
not newspapers, but magazines with my dad in them. I still have them at home.
I went and found that before they took it down and snatched a bunch of my old pictures off of that because I was like, I know that's not going to last forever.
No, that didn't last. That lasted a little while.
Yeah.
They gave it a good go. I mean, my buddy Tripp and help me, who was running it?
I don't remember.
Mike and Mike were running that.
Oh, Tripp
Mike.
was doing it?
Tripp helped start it.
I had no
and
idea.
He was kind of on the deal on the side, yeah.
Huh.
A lot of that stuff was his artwork in the magazines.
Oh, wow.
Well, like, just kind of further in that, now it's Tapology.
That's what I was going to bring
And
up.
there's
Tapology.
a ton of stuff that's not on Tapology. I think
Right.
I don't even know
Well,
if I have.
as a promoter,
friends.
it's up to us too
To do.
to send that information. So I send all of my fights get sent, other than the smokers, obviously. But
Okay, right.
every war gets sent to Tapology. So
That's good.
So I'm making sure that the fighters are getting credit for their fights.
That's awesome.
It's really important.
Any other promoters out there, make sure you're doing the same thing.
I mean, there's some of my guys on tap. They're like 2-1 when they're actually 3-1. But
Right.
the promoter that did the fight in their gym
Didn't submit
didn't
it.
submit it, so that's now a smoker. So it's no longer on his record.
Yeah, I don't get why they don't do that.
Probably just lazy on the back.
Yeah,
end.
they
they got their money. The show's over.
don't care.
A lot
The
of-
show's over and they put it away. They're on
Especially
to the
like the
next one.
in-house
For
gym
me, when
shows.
I get done with my
Really?
war events, I make sure I gather up all the information from the workers, and I go home and I write it all down, and then I post all the results, and then I make sure that I go into Tapology and give
Put
all
it
the
in.
results, and I do combat rec as well.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah.
More the kickboxers, giving them some loves.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they also it's another database. I'll send the kickboxers info too.
Okay.
Really?
Send me that through text later, and I'll put that in the description for the podcast as
Sure,
well.
I think it's
Just-
combat
I'd like
rec.
to-
It's been a little while since
Yeah, I'd like to get that out there because
combat
that's something I haven't
rec
heard
or
of.
reg.
Okay. Just to kind
was
of
actually
have
Mike.
a backup.
Yeah,
You know what I
it
mean?
was Mike
Open up more avenues.
Yeah.
from Full Contact Fighter back in the day is the one who contacted me when I started doing war, and it was like combat. I'm going to look it up. Was it reg?
I think this sport is huge for like word of mouth, like talking to people and getting it out there and spreading it out too. And that's how.
Yeah, it's Combat Registry. I send my info to these guys too.
Okay, perfect. Combat Registry, and that'll be in the description of the
and
podcast.
Tapology, get all. So that's where I send my all the fights.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
make sure that guys get credit for it. Even on Tapologies, at least Tapology is good about. They don't actually put the numbers in your record because it's MMA, but they put your fight in there, boxing or kickboxing.
Okay.
Have you noticed that in Tapology?
No, I don't go look at it that much unless we have an MMA fighter coming up, which we only have two current.
Well,
MMA
I gotta look
fighters.
at this shit all the time.
Yeah, I bet. Well, you have a promotion, yeah.
Yeah, so they'll list it boxing. They won't put it on their MMA record, but they'll put it down that
That's
they did the
good.
fight.
So they'll actually like separate the record. It's not like a combined all combat sport record.
Like I looked at one record and the guy was like 6-5 or whatever, but his record was huge, but his numbers were small. I was like, wait, and then I realized boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu. So they separate all the sports out.
Okay, that's
cool.
That's actually really cool.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, because competition isn't just like the ring time or the cage time. Like we were talking about on one of my other podcasts, like wrestlers, high level wrestlers going through high school and stuff like that. They're competing all the time. So by the time they get in, they're like the setting's a little different, but the competition is still a competition. They're very familiar with that.
Yep.
So that definitely adds to at least like the ring time. Like we talked about smokers. The first time I did mine was West Coast Smoker. We actually got one coming up this weekend.
Nice. Oh, they had this weekend?
over
Talon cranks them out, man.
Yeah, and yeah, he does. They've been doing. He said they've got it on records back since like 2010. Like every single thing. So like you're talking about keeping the records, like he'll have like my smokers on there and shit. So that's that's not something you hear about
That's cool.
anymore, you know. But just kind of having those development shows going into that, and I think it's kind of good that it doesn't go into like Tapology and stuff like that. But as long as you're not milking it for what it shouldn't be, like experience.
100%. It's for experience.
Yeah.
Like I did a smoker 4 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, whatever.
That's right, Warehouse Wars.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I've actually turned people down. They're like, I got this guy. I go, he's got 5 fights. Too much.
Okay, I like that. That's good. Kind
I
of
go,
regulates
this is for
it.
new fighters.
Yeah.
You know, or if they really want their guy to get more ground and say he's got a kickboxer, he's going to do an MMA fight in the future. Okay, we'll throw him on as a grappling match. You know,
okay.
Give him some, give
him the other
but
side where he's not experienced.
I won't give these guys that have a few fights, I won't put them on my smoker.
I like that.
That's smart.
That's important too because it provides.
It's a smoker. I'm trying to provide a platform for brand new fighters.
Yeah.
To get their, to get the experience in there and not get hurt. And my rules are pretty quick. I'm quick to stop stuff.
That's good.
With the smokers, I don't want them taking damage. So my rule set is I kind of run it like a regular show, but it's all exhibition matches.
Right.
And if you get dropped one time from a headshot, fight's over.
That's it. Yeah.
We're not counting. If you take a body shot or leg shot, we'll give you the standing eight.
Okay.
But if you take a shot for in the smoker from a headshot, whether you're happy or not, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you announce that at like rules.
I do, but
there's
there's still
people get pissed.
They still get pissed because they're in the heat of the moment, and I'm
I'm
like,
like,
bro, it's a smoker.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We have these rules set so you guys can do this and not get hurt.
Yeah.
That's what I was like smiling about because people just get pissed.
They get
off,
so
dude.
mad,
It's
and I'm
so
like, it's
funny.
just a smoker. Calm down.
Yeah.
I was talking to Hoiby about one. I'm not gonna say anything about which show. It was a while ago, but he's just like, man, fucking dude got his ass whipped, and he's pissed off. Or no, he won or something like that. He was pissed off at me, and he was like, I have fucking nothing to do with it. Yeah. So he's just like, yeah, he's like, I don't remember if he said he was gonna get in his face or something like that.
My god.
I'm like, oh my god, dude, what is with people like just being sore losers?
If you lose, you lose. It's the sport, man. Someone's going to lose. It's a 50-50 shot in there. Or, depending on your training, but you know what I mean. One person goes in, only one winner comes out. So,
One of my favorite quotes that came from the podcast here is J.D. Burns, if you know J.D.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, it's not called winning, it's called fighting.
Yeah.
So...
Well, it's just like fishing. It's not called fishing.
Yeah.
It's not called catching, it's called fishing.
Yeah, it's called...
it's called fighting.
That's right. And you do a lot of fishing. You had a bait company, or still do? Is that right?
I dabble. I have a little side. I'm just not making any money. I'm just doing it for fun.
Just because you enjoy it.
I'm fucking getting old. I'm not fighting anymore. I'm running shows, and kids are growing up. I'm trying to stay busy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got into bass fishing, and then once I realized how expensive all the lures and shit were, I'm that guy. I'm pretty entrepreneurish. I'm like, well, fuck this, man. I'll see how to make them myself. And then
got really good at it.
Got into it, and then I'm like, oh, shit's fun. And then I got really good at it, and I actually, for about 5 years, had them in a local store, except they just sold to some bigger company, so I'm out now. You know, small town, support small.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then
Well,
someone
I think I
from another
remember
town,
watching you like produce them at one point and post on social media, right?
And then it became kind of more of a job. I was like, well, this ain't fun anymore. I got to fill these damn orders and get them done at a certain time. So I totally pulled away from that, and I just make them for fun now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool.
I'm not really interested in selling them to a bunch of people anymore. It's too much work.
Yeah. Well, when like you said, when it becomes a job, not a passion, it draws the fun out of it.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, with bait making, you can get creative. You can make your own colors and soup and all this kind of thing. So that's why I kind of got into it. Kind of fun.
Another art form.
And when you start catching fish on your own shit, and you don't now, I don't have to use. I don't use anybody's baits. I use my own stuff. And
that's pretty sweet.
And yeah, just kind of fell into it.
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome because that's seeing the success of your own hard work. You know.
I mean, if it's fun, it's not really hard work.
Very true. That's one thing. Like you were talking about, just taking on fighting and having a gym is like a lifestyle. And
it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It is 100% a lifestyle. You can't be successful in this business because it's not a big money business.
Right.
You have to be willing to grind and sacrifice a lot. And you have to be self-motivated or you will not do well.
100% agree. Just going through fighting and stuff like that, like I've definitely experienced that.
And you have to be able to get kicked down and stomped on, and you got to rise above that shit. It's also a dirty business.
Yep.
Very dirty business.
People burn each other all the time.
Very cutthroat. Even some of the closest people I've learned over the years aren't as close to me as I thought they were over the years. You know,
it's rough.
You get burned even by people that you thought were tight.
Yeah.
But that's the biz.
It definitely is. I'm starting to see parts of that now as I'm going into the next. Like I started the Relentless Mouth Guards thing.
How's that doing?
It's actually doing really well. We just outfitted Glacier Combat down in Centralia, and we're working with a few other gyms getting that out and shipping out orders nationally here and there, like when we get them. And but like talking about sacrifice, talking about it's not a big money business. You know what I mean? And so. And doing the podcast and all these other things, and like
these are all labors of love. I mean,
right?
You're not getting rich doing this shit.
No, I'm not barely making.
Right.
I don't pay the bills. That's a side gig.
Exactly. Again, with the gym, not a ton of money in the gym business. You got to have you got to do promotions. You got to do things. You got to, you got to put multiple pieces together, to make this business work.
Yeah. And continue to make all those sacrifices and do things like get your son ready for fights. A lot of stuff goes into that.
Yep. The spectators have no idea the sacrifice people do.
Exactly.
To entertain the shit out of them.
And they get to see and boo and do all that shit after, 6, 9, 12, 15, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, dang, my favorite fighter did terrible. I hate him now. It's like,
I hate that, dude.
Bandwagon,
Dude, that shit pisses me off.
On and off.
Like, if you're gonna talk shit and ride with someone, like, do it when they lose too. Like, don't do that bullshit. Oh, fuck you suck now. Like after you lost.
Like I said, I don't know one fighter that hasn't lost.
I can't stand that. Dude.
Right.
That should piss me off. Any sports in general. Like, don't hop on the bandwagon. Be there since day one. If you're not, then just don't act like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. That pisses me off. I hate that.
It's one of the biggest things that deter people from being a true fan in the sport.
Yeah.
Just watching and being like, oh, I'm going to jump onto the next person. And I think because of the fact that people have such short attention spans when it comes to that. Think about fighters from 5-10 years ago. They don't even know who that is.
5-10 years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
Even from my generation, like these kids have no clue. I mean, you can go up to a kid now, and Robbie Lawler's a big name.
Yeah.
Some of them don't know.
From 10 years ago, he was a big name.
Yeah.
15 years ago, he's a big name. So a lot of these kids now, I'll be like, yeah. I'm like, you ever heard of this guy? They're like, nope. I'm like, no big deal. He's the UFC champ for about 5 defenses or whatever. They're like, really?
Yeah.
It's just totally different. Like now, I don't even know who the hell's in the UFC anymore because I follow my guys. I don't follow. I live the sport. I'm not a fan of the sport.
I'm the exact same way.
Does that make sense?
100%.
Like when I had to become a fan to want to get into the sport, but once I became, I am the sport. Not saying like I'm the sport.
Right. No, I agree. You're part of that industry. You're not a spectator.
I'm not a spectator anymore. It's what I do for a living.
Yeah.
So my interest in just watching sport fighting has gone way down to where I'm more of watching fighting for looking for fighters or
being in it.
Yeah, it's just a part of my life.
Yeah.
It's a part of what I do.
Something that happened to me when I went from the fan to in the sport is I'm now analyzing and overanalyzing fights because I'm in the industry. Now I'm watching for mistakes or tendencies and little things like that versus just enjoying the fight. Or
Right. You're
like
not.
that.
I'm like, you dumbass. You should have done this and this
Right.
and that. You start picking it apart. And now even I watch UFC guys. I'm just like, he's not even that good.
Right. You see stuff like there's amateur
like,
MMA fighters that are better a lot of times.
I'll be like, honestly, I know the guy down the road that's better than this guy.
Right.
It's
it's
he's in the UFC. But it's about
who you know,
being at the right place, having the right connections, all that kind of shit.
Now social media,
huge.
When I was coming up, Brian Jones would be like, "Why are you like?" Because I wasn't like trying to take photos. Nobody was. It was taboo. It's like, why? If you got time to stop and take pictures and do all the social media stuff, you got time to hit the bag 100 more times.
Right.
And like that's just like, oh, okay, yes, sir. And it was just the standard that we live by. Like when I got into the sport, and it's like, why? Like you see that people like that are like you said, not as talented or maybe not as deserving skill-wise as somebody else, like you said, that's maybe right down the road, but they got the opportunity because of somebody they know or because they put out a social media post and that went viral and now somebody saw that. And
lots of hype.
Well, how about that kid?
Yeah.
That like, I don't think much is going to happen with this kid because but I saw him on the fucking
Street Beast?
Street
Scrap
Beast
Yard?
shit.
Yeah.
He's wearing his little wings.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And that kid made it onto that karate show or whatever.
And
actually did the same bullshit and actually beat a guy. And then he's got his like 15 minutes of fame that was all over the place for a little while.
Right.
Well,
he did that shit where he jumped in the pit, acted like a blind guy, and it's like in the middle of the fight. And it's like,
but
who was this guy?
I don't even know his name.
Like he goes by Winged Sea.
But like he's not going to do shit. But I mean, he had that little blip of time,
right?
Because of social media,
exactly.
And he got seen by the right person. He got to go do a pretty big show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Couple of them. Yeah.
And he actually won a fight that I saw. I was like, oh fuck, he won.
That is exactly it. Well, no, because a lot of people.
But that's entertaining.
That's what like because I know Steve, the guy that runs the scrapyard, and so so I could try to go out and support him, and they've got. Like those guys, they fight, but they have the social media stuff because of the presence on the scrapyard. I always say like, it's like two dudes that are road raging and they pull over and they and then they go at it and it's like that's kind of what we're seeing here. But there are some fighters that have come through, like Luther from goes by the Terrifier.
I have yet to see him fight, but I've seen he's been fighting for Koga. Yeah, and now he's doing well, and he's in
he just got signed to LFA.
Nice.
So he's going to fight for the LFA.
Well, he's climbing that ladder, but he is good and he's intense and he's very pressure heavy.
I haven't seen him fight much, so I don't.
But there's definitely an avenue to be a character there more than a fighter. And I think that when you're looking at like, damn, how am I going to up my sales for this big fight show? Get somebody that's got millions of followers and is just kind of like a celebrity in the back. Just like when, like down here, like Brian Jones had Uriah Faber on one of them. I'm not a biggest fan of Uriah Faber. I'm not a Uriah Faber fan. But I've
talked to him a couple times.
I know.
Kid's a little dipshit.
I was just thank you for saying it because he's kind of a
so
douche.
Fucking full of himself.
Yeah, and he's just all about the ladies.
He's a douche.
Yeah, he is.
He's a California kid, of course.
Yeah, California
skateboarder.
Yeah,
except we're 50 now, bro. Get over it.
Well,
exactly.
That's why people love McGregor so much. It's because of him talking shit and saying whatever he wants, not caring and stuff. That's what brought the UFC. I mean, made the UFC a shitload of money. It was because he just didn't care.
Yeah, he got to play the villain and he did a really good job.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of him, just because of his antics and stuff like that. It kind of disrespects a lot of stuff in the sport.
I was a huge fan of him up until
2021, man.
Carried away, once he crested up there and he started assaulting women and doing stupid
Oh
shit
yeah,
like that.
that's
horrible,
horrible.
bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Just terrible person.
but
Yeah.
like I understood because he came from nothing too. I know I like his story. I like McGregor's story, but it just went too far to his.
Exactly.
He let it go too far.
Disrespect my guy Dustin Poirier, man.
Well,
That's my dude.
well, okay, I'll tell you what. People that fight aren't fucking normal. Period.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, so you're gonna have some shit with each fighter. Like if you're a real fighter and you're grinding and this is what you do for a living, normal people don't do this.
Exactly.
Normal people work at Boeing, and work a construction job.
I was about to be like, shout out Jeff.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
We all,
But
there's more normalcy to regular life.
yeah, but you have to be a little fucked up in the head to fight.
I love that though.
Because
Makes-
what's
makes you
triggering
you.
you to want to go out there and battle with another human being and it's entertaining to you?
Yeah.
You had to have been through. Usually, with my experience, like myself included, you're a little fucked up.
Yeah.
That's why you're doing it.
I see every fighter has like a little edge of that. And a lot of it just comes from like somewhere back in their past, their
It's just
childhood.
upbringing.
Yeah,
Childhood shit.
exactly.
For me, it was childhood shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Me
the way I
too.
was raised. Street kid,
Yep.
It was either fight and go to prison or fight and do something with it.
I always listen to like the Mike Tyson podcasts and stuff
Those
like
are
that.
cool.
Yeah, and he talks about, he's like, we used to rob people and stuff like that. And he's like doing drugs and getting high and drunk and stuff at like 12 years
Well,
old,
that's
13
when,
years old.
I was
And
12
then-
years old. I started smoking weed.
Me
and
too, yeah.
Drinking, and I was a Korean kid in a hick town
Ooh,
in the
okay.
80s, bro.
Yeah, so you're the standout guy.
Oh, I got my ass kicked every
Yeah.
day. I was a little gook,
Yeah.
Everyone else was fucking hillbillies and shit.
So you're getting it hard from the hillbillies.
Oh,
that
it was
sucks.
bad. It was bad. It was every fucking day, dude. They just steal my shit.
Oh,
I just fucked your mom for $20. Yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ.
so like hearing the worst shit as a kid too. It's like you
Right?
can't always do stuff. You can't always control your emotions at that age.
Yeah.
Do you think I was tough at 12 years old? A little fucking frail ass little
No,
Korean kid?
I don't think
got
any
my-
kids were that
I was
tough.
getting my ass kicked left and right. I
Yeah.
looked like a little fucking girl. I mean, I was just this little Asian kid.
Somebody that's easy target to pick on.
Easy target. I got my ass beat forever.
I was the fat kid, so it was easy. It was
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. But this is back when it wasn't okay to be fat. So just, it's bad to be
Yeah.
a fat kid. So
Yeah.
But I feel blessed to have gone through those experiences because I'm not a sensitive little bitch now.
yeah, that's important.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. You could be a grown-ass man. I don't care what ethnicity you are. You can come up to me and call me a gook, and I'm just going to go, high five, bro.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm sorry you have that anger, but, whatever.
I've been through way
I'm
more.
like,
That's going to
you
affect
can't
me.
even offend me anymore.
Yeah,
Like, I'm really hard to offend.
that's
I
good.
just don't care anymore. It's like people's
Mm-hmm.
opinions only affect you if you allow it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned pretty quick over time. Like, with all the crazy racism we're dealing with and shit,
Yep, it's wild out there.
just move on, man. Move
Now
on.
you're coming back from the knee injury. Where are you at in that?
It's pretty much done.
Okay.
I've been, doing a lot of physical therapy and stuff like that,
Okay.
That's been a lot of work. And I think that's pretty cool to do the physical therapy because a lot of the people there now I'm pretty close to.
Yeah.
And so they kind of tailor a lot of like the workouts to kickboxing
Okay.
and lots of like that movement and stuff. So I'm doing a lot of like ladder work and a lot of explosive movements and stuff, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's been a long process, man. Mentally too. It's been tough.
Definitely.
We're shooting for November.
Shooting for November. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, I got to find an opponent for him. So, if
You're
anyone-
170.
He's a 180.
185.
185.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad I don't fight anymore.
185.
Yeah, it's tough weight class.
We
was
thought
my
about
weight class, too.
170,
Yeah.
but he's just too big. He's not
Yeah.
going to make 170.
And you're how old now?
25.
Okay.
25.
So you're not growing anymore, but you got that grown man strength, and it's like full effect now.
Finally, yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually funny you bring that up because I remember growing up in the gym getting bullied the whole time.
All my
dude.
friends.
Being the little brother, like, oh, fuck you, kid. Like kicking me, pinching me and shit. And I'm like going up to my dad and then he'd be like, quit being a little bitch and then push me too. I'm like, what the fuck?
I was about to ask you, like, did you tell him to do something?
I'd let him
They
do
just
it.
let
No,
him
they
do
would
it.
just bully me. But it was good, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
now
obviously
get
to a
to
certain
do-
extent.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Some light hazing.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now I get to do a little bit of it. So
Right.
like one of the little kids, I'm like, "What's up, bitch?" And like they kind of look at me, and I'm like, and I look at my dad just to make sure it's not too much.
You're like,
I'm like, make sure so he doesn't beat my ass. But But yeah, man, it's cool. It's been a process, but
Yeah.
it's made me stronger.
Yeah. So if there's any 185ers that want to take a little test.
Yeah, definitely.
Test
And you're
drive.
what, 6', 6'1"?
6'2"-ish.
6'2"-ish?
Yeah,
Okay.
on a good day.
So that is the right frame for a fucking kickboxer.
Yeah.
6'2", 185. Pretty long kid.
All
Yeah,
legs.
I love that. Like I said, I hated fighting taller fighters as a 185er. I had more of the MMA build, a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
And always doing kickboxing or Muay Thai, but it just made me good at getting inside. But I always struggle with the really short guys too, because they just have that angle. I'm like,
It's weird, man. You're
The
slapping
fuck,
them right.
man?
Yeah. Get
Like-
away from me.
Oh, I hated fighting the awkward guys because that threw me off more than fighting the technical guy.
oh, for sure.
I'd get in there with the technical guy. We'd have this bop, 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 bop. We'd be out there, and some goober would go out there, and I'd be like, "Oh shit!" What the
Yeah.
you know, it'd throw me off. I'd be like, "This guy's
Kyle.
got weird shit coming from everywhere."
I got a guy in my gym right now. His name's Dane. We call him like Kung Fu Panda and stuff. I was calling him Mortal Kombat. He did one of the smokers, and the first thing he does one of the
what
double
the
punch, and he got hit with like a left hook. It was like pop. And Mariansky is sitting right there next to me. He's like, "You want me to have our guy take it down?" I was like, "Nope." He barely showed up to train. So just kind of like let him take
Figure
a
it
little more.
out.
But those awkward guys, like you said, that's how he is. He's like does like a bunch of weird shit.
It's like, shit. I'm like, where the fuck did that even come from? How did that even hit me? I was
yeah,
like,
especially when they get good at being awkward fighters. Like,
Yeah.
what the
and
fuck
sometimes I'll be
is
like,
this?
dude, I hurt myself trying to punch you. Get away from me. Get away. I kick your knee or
Yeah.
some stupid thing because you're checking all weird and
Or they're
backwards.
doing like backhanded jabs
Yeah.
and shit like that. You're like, yeah, it's not even like technically legal if you're gonna I don't know. Just people are so weird.
Yeah. That's what makes it fun, man.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun.
It's like a wild card. That's what it's like. There's no exact way to do it right. There's a lot of right ways and a lot of wrong ways, but there's no like, all right, we figured out the one way. Now everybody's a carbon copy of this
Right,
one way.
exactly. I mean,
So many different styles.
Yeah,
Upbringing.
and it's always evolving and changing. And
Yep.
like you said, now these kids are growing up in the gym.
So like the generational differences is like we're a hell of a lot tougher than these kids, but we're not nearly as talented as these kids.
That's a great way to
like-
differentiate it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can take it every shot this kid's gonna give at me, but he might give me 20 to my 1. You know what I'm saying? Because he's quicker, faster. They have all this new shit that's come out the past 20 years. You know?
Yep.
I come from right hand, left hand. You know,
Yeah.
Just get in there.
I'm gonna hit you
I'm
harder
gonna
than you hit me.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was good. I'm gonna hit you harder. You know, it's just different. We learned in
That adrenaline.
like I said. We
Yeah.
learned
Brian
in-
Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We learned in the ring. We learned in the cage.
Yep.
These guys are learning in the gym, and they're waiting a year or two to go in there. I fought after 3 weeks.
Yeah. I was 5 weeks in the gym from when I started.
Charlie kept telling me, "No, you're not ready," but I kept bugging him, and to shut me the fuck up. What's he do? Gets me a fight, I get choked out. I go, oh, "Okay, you need to be able to breathe to fight." I get it now.
Yeah.
You know,
Couple
but
cigarettes.
he I quit smoking that minute. Never, you know, I was like, "Fuck that."
So I want to talk about that exact thing, what you just said. You quit smoking that minute. People that are all in, they don't care what they have to sacrifice.
Nope.
They're like, boom, all right, boom. What do I have to discard to keep going forward? What's weighing me down?
Yeah.
I got rid of it that night.
Yeah.
I was like, in the garbage.
But that's how you can tell who wants it and who doesn't.
That was what I was gonna say. Is like that's the ones that are like, oh, okay, I could take. How long can I take off after my fight, coach? Like, what? You should be like asking
When's my
me
next-
when can I come back?
Yeah.
Like what do I have to take off? And
Yeah.
usually we'll tell you like you can make the celebratory walk or like just come in and just be like, hey, thanks, did my fight, win, lose or draw. But we're probably not having you train specifically for about a week unless you're just fine, unless you're unscathed.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you knock them out.
So
or
what I
something.
used to do is I used to give myself, I didn't take the week off, but I took the week off of hard training and I could eat what I wanted. So
Yeah, there you go.
So after my fight, I give myself 1 week. Like I'm still in the gym.
Yeah.
Rectally, I was just going in there and playing. But if I want to drink that beer, I'm drinking that beer. If I want to eat that pizza, I was eating that pizza that week.
Yep.
I would literally gain 20 pounds,
Yeah. So it sounds like pretty much back then.
and then I would get
All you guys do the same
right
shit.
back at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Right
that's
back
what
at it.
Brian Jones always told me. He's like, that's the exact formula he gave
1
me.
week. Win, lose, or draw. I gave myself 1 week to
Yep.
enjoy myself, and then the following Monday I was back to the grind.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's
And
dedication.
That's my whole career was like that. And if I lost, there's times where I didn't take that week, and I was like, "Fuck you," come Monday, and I was grinding.
I'd be shadow boxing in the kitchen at 2 a.m. if I lost. I'd be
Yeah,
fucking pissed
microwaving
off.
something.
Yeah.
And again, back then we were losing as much as we were winning.
Yep.
It was flip flop, flip flop. I'll win 4, I'll lose 4. I
Yeah.
won 3, I lost 3. I won 1, I won. You know, it was just such a different different.
Just because
time
you
back
loved
then.
it.
Yeah.
I just loved to fight. I fought 14 times my first year.
There really wasn't much
That's
of an
crazy.
industry around it back then.
There was no
either.
industry.
Right. You're developing it.
We were creating it. I
He
fought.
was the industry.
Yeah, I mean, we fought every weekend. I fought 14 times my first year.
Damn, that's a lot. You stack on a lot of mileage doing it that way too.
But I retired early because by the time I was 35, I was getting punchy, and my knee was just
It's gone.
yeah. I fought my retirement fight. I fought Shoney Carter with the flu, and one leg, and I lost a decision. I won that first round, I think. Maybe it's me.
You won the first round. I remember watching it.
Yeah, but that's all the energy I had. I had no more gas after. I was shitting and puking when they were calling me out to fight. And I remember Charlie screaming, "Come on, Joe, let's go! It's time!" I'm like, "I can't." I go, "I'm shitting and puking same time." And they're like, "Okay, well, you're the main event. I guess they're gonna have to wait." And I go, "Yep. Tell them to give me 5 minutes."
Yeah.
I was on the toilet. And I had the garbage can.
Oh, man.
Both ends. Finished up.
Yeah.
Wobbled my ass out there. And
Oh my God.
I did the best I could, and I lost a decision to Shoney that night because I had made a decision whether I could move it. I'm not fucking tapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Jeez.
That's also something that drives me nuts too, with like people that are casual, that watch, that talk shit. Like, you don't understand what this person's going through to train, to do all that stuff, to get ready to do it. And let's say you're dealing with that shit. Like don't talk. Like if you could watch casually, man, but like you don't understand.
I should have pulled out of that fight, but my dad was coming, and he had been sick. I knew he was dying, and I knew that this was the only fucking opportunity, whether I fought well or not, that he would ever get to see me fight live.
Yeah.
I didn't know when he was gonna die, but I knew he was on his way out, and so I got the fucking flu.
Aunt Nikki was
I
there
got
too.
one leg. My aunt flew. I mean, my sister was there. My aunt was there. My dad secretly, Darabia told me he was coming to make sure I was, I knew, because obviously I wouldn't have fought normally. I would have pulled out of that fight probably, day before or whatever. But I was like, I have to fucking fight. So I went through with it. It was brutal. First round, I just came out there. I did what I could, tried to keep it on my feet. I broke his ribs with some body kicks, I had to keep it. I didn't want him clinching up with me. Judo guy, right?
Okay. Oh, yep.
Shoney Carter, he's the one who's known for all his, do you know who he is?
I know the name, but
He wore all of his pimp suits and shit. He was the one with the
I know
famous
exactly
back
who you're talking about now.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So
It's funny.
so I fought Shoney. I ended up double legging him at the end of the round, but that's all the gas I had left. I spent the next 2 rounds stuck on my back, being laid on.
Yeah.
I was just like, I can't do shit. I can't grapple.
Yeah.
I casted my leg from here to here, so it wouldn't bend.
Mm-hmm.
So I was literally gimping. In the cage, But I had to follow through because Dad was there. So I got through the fight, retired, whatever is what it is. But that's one of those fights, man. That's that one fight that's always in the back of my head. It's like, fuck that. I would have whooped his ass if I was healthy. You don't want to go out like that. But that was my retirement fight. Had to follow through. The difference now is guys won't do that anymore.
Right.
They'll just pull out.
It's so real quick before we get into it. LeBron or Jordan?
What's
Kobe.
that?
Kobe? Okay.
Kobe.
I said LeBron or Jordan.
Jordan.
I'm Jordan too.
Yeah.
But Kobe's
Jordan, but
Kobe. Yeah.
Kobe's my Jordan because that's who I grew up with watching.
So I think the mentality behind this, like, I won't stop, I won't quit, versus like, oh, you can just take the
Load
game off, you
management,
can just go sit on the bench, like, and it's worse for fighters. And like you said, like the people that kind of poo-poo like a losing or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have 82 game season.
No.
You have one fight and one, like, everybody knows that fighting's a game of inches, a game of moments. Lose a couple of those moments and you don't know what the next one leads to. Like,
exactly.
And so like something we talk about all the time is fighting for the next 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Like keeping those next 5 versus don't think about the next 2 rounds where you're going to be then. Think about, keep the present in front of you. But
Yeah.
just, you can't always, you don't get those moments back. You don't get like even a rematch. It's not the same fight. It's not like a 3-game series. No. It's not.
I fucking hate rematches.
Yeah, it's.
You almost never win the son of bitches anyway. If you're the loser and you go to rematch, almost nine times out of 10 you lose again.
I got offered a rematch after one of my third or fourth fight, and I was just like, "Why? We just fought. Like, you wanted me to rematch him 7 weeks later?"
Man, I had that guy in my career that no matter what I did, fucker beat me. No matter what, I still feel like I was better, but he just had my number. No matter what I did, that fucker beat me. He found a way to beat me. It was so annoying.
Damn.
But we're friends now. I mean, it's all good, you know.
But,
but well, it's styles also make matchups. That's real important.
Yeah.
You know, but mentality, 100%. It's different. These kids have a lot more talent, but they don't have the cojones us old men had.
Yeah. And when you come across some sort of dog that kind of like you find those people that still do, or those rare ones.
They're special. You got to try to hold on to those guys.
Yeah.
Jack.
Yep.
Jack's got that.
You run into everyone. I've been doing this sport a long time now, and you know, people are like, you must have just been through so many people over there. It's like, yeah, dude. And every generation, there's a shift every few years. I get a new team, everyone that I knew.
Every
they're
3
gone.
to 5 years or something like that.
They're gone. It rotates through. You know, you'll get 1 or 2 homies that stick around for a lot of your career.
Yeah.
But it's fresh bait every few years.
It's so weird that it revolves like that. You can most people will work with somebody side by side longer than they'll have them as a training partner.
Yeah.
Like, you know, as a career, you know, I was a butcher for a long time, or a meat cutter, and almost all those guys still work there.
Yeah.
They worked there for like 8 years.
They'll be there forever, probably.
Yeah. And like I could go back there and do the same thing with the same people. But like you said, just watching people revolve through the gym. It's like, all right, because
it's a tough sport.
It is, and you have to pay, like the fact that it doesn't pay.
Does not pay.
And you have to sacrifice so much just to do something out of passion. Most people, you know, they find other priorities.
I've found talented kids that I thought were going to be the next big thing, and then after a couple years, they didn't have it mentally.
Yep.
Life got to them. Life got difficult. They start training less. They find more excuses to pull away from the gym. Oh, well, I got to go do this, or my girlfriend this, or da-da-da-da. I'm like, that shit's there when you go home, dude. So stay for an hour, you know.
Yeah.
But they just, I don't see that. It's changing, man.
It is.
It's all passion, man. Discipline, too. That's where that comes. You know, you're going to have motivation for so long, and then, like, the discipline is where it's there.
Yes.
I think coming up hard, everything I had to achieve was difficult. So I believe if it's easy, it's not even worth it.
I would agree.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot of things. I mean, like, you can boil it down to like fast food. You know, like it's not worth it. It's worth cooking on your own. Take the time to actually go through the motions, and
you're healthier.
Yeah, you're healthier. You're better off for it. But when it comes to that training, man, and like the mentality behind it, and like you kind of mentioned to it, longevity. Like, do you have the mentality to stay in it for a long period of time? Do you see yourself in it in a year from now? Because something I always tell our newer students is, because they want to come in, they think they're going to get the 6 weeks, and I'm going to look better, I'm going to be the fighter. I'm like, 6 months to a year for skill acquisition.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're looking at.
And how often do you keep those kids for 6 months to a year?
Not that much.
Often.
Not that much.
You know, as being a coach, teaching, you get guys that sign up, and then they sign a contract, and then a month later, they're like, I want out of my contract. And I'm like, well, you just signed a contract.
Yeah.
Like, well, I know, but whatever, you know. And,
I can't pay anymore.
Or, you know, but it's just like the average student, in my opinion, is 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, it's pretty average, pretty normal.
If you got someone for a year or so, you did pretty good with that person.
Yeah.
Now, if you got a few,
it sucks when you break it down like that.
But if you think about it,
I've seen a lot of people.
True.
I mean, everyone in my gym today is not the same people a couple of years ago.
Yep.
I was looking at some pictures from a couple of years ago. I was like, none of these people are here.
Yeah.
And it's completely new faces now.
It's very true.
You know, so longevity, you got to have that mental in this game to be successful in it.
And we do kind of like, for our gym, we do kind of think about it as like, we're going to have the casuals or the hobbyists or like whatever kind of term we want to put on it. And then we're going to have the dedicated fighters. And as a coach, I see it right away. I'm like, because they'll dabble in it and they'll start to figure it out. And then they're like, what should I do, coach? I'm like, you should be running. You should be doing all these things. Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, they're looking better. I'm like, what have you been doing? They're like, running, jumping rope, shadow boxing, like the basics and stuff.
Yeah.
And everybody like, I love this clip from Roy Jones Jr. on Instagram. Love the Instagram tool for growth, but not necessarily for, I mean, I guess I'm doing a lot to be seen, but I just want to help our community. But the Roy Jones clip he talks about is like, everybody comes in, they see people punching bags or fighting or sparring or hitting pads, and they want to do what looks cool. They don't realize like you're going to spend 2 weeks just learning how to stand, how to throw your jab, how to move your feet. It's like the most boring things need to be done the most. And people just won't sacrifice like that.
No, that's where they want. That's where that new generation, when everything's just so easy, everything's right here. Everything's just handed to you. You don't have to create anything. It's all created for you.
There's no originality. It's just like with a lot of things.
That's a great point. Yeah, a lot of carbon copies.
Different generation, different. Like I said, these kids are talented. We just got to fix them up here.
So having that perspective specifically, and bringing your son up now under you, what do you apply, making sure that he falls into that right kind of guys for?
Well, it's simple.
mentality?
If he's not doing the work, I'm not matching him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you obviously have it fully. He fully understands what the work looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
A lot of people fall into that confusion. Like, what is the work needs to be
It's
done?
grit, dude.
And the thing I told Chase just the other day, and I told some of the other guys, I go, I'm tired of you guys thinking that you need me to change my schedule for you.
Right.
I go, these are the gym hours. They've been this shit for years. You know our routine. Everyone's got a different schedule. Everybody's got challenges in life. I go, I had my challenges as a young fighter coming up, being a single dad, trying to raise 2 kids, working fucking graveyard, and having kids every single weekend, right? I chose that route because I didn't want to miss time with my kids. So you figure it out. I go, I don't know what your schedule is. You fucking figure it out. But these are the hours I'm here. And if you want to fucking fight, you'll make it work.
Yeah.
Fighter with a day job or a hobbyist?
It's just like, figure it out. I don't know. I can't keep adjusting my. These kids expect me to adjust my shit for them.
No,
That's not how it works.
Not
work. So a lot of these recent kids. I mean, I'm rebuilding my team right now. I got a lot of new kids. I don't have a lot of experienced guys anymore. So Chase with 2 fights is one of my more experienced guys. I have another kid, Jack, who's my assistant. He's
a stud.
Pretty talented kid. I've
good.
been working with for a few years now. He's 3-1. Right?
He gives me problems trying him too.
And,
it's hard, man.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I got some real newbies.
Okay.
So I got a real small team right now. I'm rebuilding.
We went through that just recently. About 2 years ago, full revamp, like all new faces, to where everybody's like, okay, who's gonna end up being the leader? Who's gonna stick around? Who's gonna end up getting good? That helps.
Yeah, and
sticks around.
And so Jack's really stepped up, and he runs. He does a lot of extra shit on his own. He's a kid I can rely on. But there's just not that many out there these days. They get a little bit of challenges in life, and then poof, they're gone.
Yeah,
it's usually the kids with the most talent that do that
and
too.
They're the talented ones, and they're the ones that could do something with it. But they don't have the heart for it.
No,
I think that something that I've noticed with talented, because we've got one kid, his name's Jagger, and he is like world-class athleticism. Like if this kid if he went all in like the way that you did and stuff, he no doubt like 1 FC champion kind of stuff, or UFC, depending on whatever you wanted to go with the right connections.
Yeah.
But man, we can't get him to stop like putting his weight on his heels. I mean, just little simple things, and it's like you can get away with so much because of how talented he is.
Yeah.
That he doesn't feel like he has to work that hard. And we're talking about like old school fighters that were like that, and especially like you think about like the guys that came from like the 80s or 90s in boxing, and they're kind of like spoon fed straight to the top and like get everything they want. But then they face adversity, and sometimes they crumble.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're experiencing in like modern combat sports right now.
100%. Because like a lot of us, we weren't talented. We were just hard workers.
Gritty. Yep.
And I think from the generations we come up from, we've had to work our ass off for everything. And then so I just didn't know any better. You just got to work hard if you want it. You got to grind. But like I said, I think the way our society is turned, everything's so fucking easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I just found out a couple of years ago they took cursive out of schools.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The dog in the back is
my
some shit.
I didn't find out until I went to get my 13-year-old her first bank account and debit card, and they asked her for a signature, and she didn't know what the hell it was. And she goes, I go, you don't know what a signature is?
I didn't hear the end of it for about a week from him.
Wow.
It's so funny.
I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And she goes, what's a signature? I go, you know signature, so you know it's you,
Write
not
your
someone
name.
else.
Yeah.
You write your name in cursive, and she's like, what's cursive? I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Oh man.
And then I
that's
asked her,
terrible.
and then I asked the lady that was working there, did you know that? She goes, yeah, they took that out a few years ago.
That's wild.
I'm like, are they trying to make our kids stupid?
Yeah.
Are they trying to make us all carbon copies of one
Just
another?
make things like so simple that everything is round. Like,
So
just-
if you don't have a signature, how do you identify it's you?
yeah.
But they take that out of the systems now. I signed my lease today on my phone.
Yeah. Digital sign.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's weird.
Any asshole could have done that.
Yep. Super easy too.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Yeah, so it's different. It's different. So.
It definitely is. There's something to be said for
I'm not calling these kids lazy or stupid. I'm just saying everything's so easy for them.
the system has
The
become
system has made it that
easy.
way.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of that is just appeasing to the match.
If
Sorry, my
anything,
neighbors.
most of these kids are
dog is
fucking
going
smarter
crazy.
than us, old school guys. You know,
Yeah.
if anything, with all the technology and shit. I'm a retard. I have to fucking ask my kids how to do shit on my phone.
I still have to. It takes me forever to figure that shit out too. Like I got a really fancy laptop, and I'm just like, I don't really fucking know how to use this. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be like editing all this video with this fancy editing shit, and I don't even use it. I use the cheapest shit that I can use and the easiest.
Yep, most convenient.
Yep.
You know, I get all pissed off at my phone. My daughter, 15 years old. Sure. I'm like, get out of here.
But that's kind of like that's my version of doing the things the easy way. Is like I don't want to have to fucking learn how to operate like this special technology and shit.
No,
like that.
now I'm just like,
yeah.
all this technology shit, I'm like, I'm lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still run my books old school. I'm starting to upgrade shit nowadays.
Yeah.
Like go digital, and I'm like, ah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I use Excel and shit,
like
but that's
taboo.
about it.
Yeah, well, I did my QuickBooks. I'm talking about like tuitions and
Oh yeah,
all that, POS stuff. I'm like, everyone's upgraded, but me. I'm still doing it longhand.
It does get easier for certain little things, but yeah, it's just kind of like getting with it. But
That's pretty
I'm
funny.
getting up with the times.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny to listen to him bitch about it too. It's like, Dad, shut up. You're fine. It's like, yo, I'll fuck you up. Yeah, it's so funny, dude.
That's what you do. You got to beat their ass when they're young.
Yeah.
Even though when
Dude,
I'm
mentally,
getting older,
yeah. I don't even want to punch
like
him.
physically, he could probably whoop my arm, but he doesn't know that.
Well, I was gonna say,
don't know
like,
if I want
there's
to.
something to be said for leading with a little bit of intimidation.
Yeah.
Like understanding, like there is a hierarchy, especially when it comes to this, because there you can get out of line
respect.
pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's having respect for, who brought you up, I'm not gonna go and try and kill my dad. That's
No,
stupid. I would
yeah.
never do that. Him sparring me, I want to learn.
That would be the most. You would have to assume off the bat you guys had the most dysfunctional relationship.
Yeah.
If you tried to
Beating the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
No, it's more just him actually like yelling at me. You didn't fucking do that right. Do it again. And I'm doing it again, and he's like yelling at me. But that's what I need. I need that.
Well, and
yeah,
coaches,
use your job.
they recognize what individuals need because not every single person needs the exact same thing.
No, and not everybody likes to be coached. Not
Yeah.
everybody can take it.
I got to coach people different too.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people I got to collar your nuts and make sure that you know that you did a good little job.
I hate that, but yeah,
And then some people I got to go, you fucking idiot! The fuck's wrong with you? So like,
That's what
Yeah.
it works with me.
it depends on what works with some people. Like Charlie, he had to yell at me and insult me and call me stupid. Piss me off a little bit to react.
Fire
If
you
he
up.
would have been like, "It's okay, Baba," I would have been like, "What the fuck?"
yeah.
I wouldn't have reacted right. I had to have a certain person screaming at me and slapping me around.
No, I think that because I have the same thing with Brian Jones, and he's like very similar to how my dad is, but just matter of fact. Like if you do this, this will happen. You have to do this. Like cardio is your number one weapon. Blah blah blah. All this stuff. And it's like if you don't do it, it's not going to work. Just like how you're saying. So if you're not training, I'm not going to match you.
Very black and white.
Yeah, exactly. And that is exactly when I needed. So and with Charlie teaching you the way that you needed to be taught, I think that like coach and student, like that charisma really goes a long way.
I mean, I've had I've had big names corner me. It's different.
Yeah.
When you have that corner, and you got to trust your corner.
I think it's funny too, because having it in my corner, obviously there is that dad instinct a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like some pictures that we have from my second fight, you look stressed out. But it was it was pretty funny.
It's my kid.
It's
So.
pretty fucking funny because I think that's hilarious. But it's Then he goes into coach mode. Like, right as, you know, like we mentioned before, like the last fight I had against Olaf, the first 2 rounds, it was just purely just listening the whole time. You know,
And we would have lost.
If I didn't
listen.
listen, and the big thing was, you know, the first 2 rounds, he was like, dude, just box him, move around, be active, you'll win by points. Like, you'll win the fight.
I'm like, don't look for the knockout.
Yeah.
Touch him a lot and move.
Move the whole
Touch
time.
touch and move. I don't want you standing in front of him.
Yep.
Just pop, score, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
You hurt him, then you go to finish. But if you don't hurt him, don't
Move.
engage.
Yeah, move.
Get out.
And that last round, man, I remember sitting on the stool. It was pretty funny.
Second round.
No, it was third round. I got my ass whooped.
No, I know. But the second round is when my legs are tired.
Oh, yeah. I sat on the stool, and I looked at him, and I was like, Dad, my fucking legs are gone. Like, I'm gassed.
Ooh.
And he looks at me, and he goes, we're going to the last round. You fucking survive. You survive. You do whatever you can to survive. That's it. And I remember, I was like, all right. I get up, and I'm like, dude, that's when I got up off the stool. I was like, dude, they're gone. My legs are, like, cooked.
Oh, shit.
And so I go in the 3rd round, and I hear him, and he goes, do not get knocked down. And I'm like, okay, let's not get knocked down. I go in there, and I get my ass handed to me. Like, he's beating my ass. Because I'm not moving like I was the first 2 rounds. Right. And that's
takes a lot of energy.
Dude. And that was against...
Olaf hits hard, too.
He hits really hard.
He's a big kid.
And he's pretty good.
I sparred him, yeah.
And I'm moving around and trying to move around. I'm telling my legs, move, and they're not moving. And so I'm getting blasted the whole time. And all I could hear, literally zoned out. I can't hear anything else except my dad, do not fucking get knocked down or you'll lose the fight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck.
He was literally keeled over.
He kneed me hard. And I remember being over, and all I heard was, you fucker, do not go down. And I'm like, and so the first thing was like, all right, whatever I do, if I shit myself, I'm not going down.
Yeah.
I said, whatever you do not touch that fucking mat.
Yeah. And also, it was like heaven on earth when I heard it. And I was like, fucking thank God. And so we made it through the round. And even when I knew I won the fight when Olaf was like, hey, dude, good job. Like, you won. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I raised my hands. I was like, all right, cool. But fuck, dude. That last round, I remember the whole time. Like, all I could hear was...
But he didn't understand that if he would have touched, that would have been a knockdown. Then it would have been a 10-8.
Yep, exactly.
Then at best, we get a draw.
Yep.
Yeah.
At worst, we lose a split.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, as long as you don't touch that fucking mat, we win this fight. And so we got through it. And Olaf put it on his ass that last round.
Yeah, I needed that, though. That was like, welcome to fighting.
But I was glad that happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I picked that. I wanted to have a little controversy. I wanted to push him
adversity,
a little
man.
Adversity, yeah.
And it's a
bit.
privilege.
And I wanted to see what he could take.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that's one of the biggest, like, actually wanted me to, or made me want to fight more. Because I was like, this is fun. And then I came back after, you know, a few days, actually, and trained, and I was more comfortable getting hit. Yeah. And I feel like I got better. Like, now I'll spar people and be comfortable getting hit here and then trading shots and stuff and be fine. So, yeah, that was a big deal.
That's interesting you say that, because our whole team we talked about, like, the 2-year kind of retraining, and a lot of them are kind of gun shy because we have some of our heavier hitters, like, and stuff like that. So, and we're known to spar a little bit, maybe hard.
Same.
But they have rounded that fucking curve. They know how to take a hit and fucking fight
move,
back.
yeah.
That's so important. And when we have one girl, Deanna, she just fought on Sarab's card in like April or whatever it was. She's matched up again on his card, but she lost a decision that we thought she won.
Mm-hmm. Really?
And I watched it again, and I can see where they got how they did score it. Like they could have scored it like this and such and such. But anyway. She came off of that loss like a monster. She's like, oh no, we're winning this. And now she's throwing like these power leg kicks like grown men. She's 19. You know, she's tough girl.
Yeah.
And it's just encouraging to see them go from like have a tough competition and want to do it right and click right in.
Yeah.
A lot of people have a tough competition, like, all right, I'm done for 6 months.
Yeah, no,
I'll be back in 6 months.
Yeah.
It was funny because my girlfriend was there too, and I remember her telling me like, "Damn, that was kind of like tough," and I was like, "That shit was awesome."
Yeah.
And I go in the next day, and she asked me again. She goes, "You still want to do that?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, that was fucking sick,
do that
dude."
Again today.
Yeah, I was like, "Let's go." I was sore, but it was.
That was the thing, man. I loved fighting.
Yeah.
I didn't love training. I fucking loved fighting.
Mm-hmm.
But I love fighting enough to train my ass off.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I'm naturally a relaxed dude. I mean, I want to go fishing.
Yeah.
You know, chill. You know, but
He's actually like, It's funny because I had a lot of friends like be like, dude, your dad's scary and shit. And I was like, dude, my dad's like the biggest teddy bear. Once you get to know him, like he's cool. He's cool. I promise. He's not gonna beat your ass. I promise he's not gonna like press you. And they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, come on, hang out. And then they're like, dude, your dad's badass. Like, dude, he's so cool.
It's just intimidating, like having this like spectacle. You're like, oh shit, like that, like because the potential for that is there, right? The potential, like you're capable. You're capable of doing, and the people are like, "Oh shit!"
But most fighters aren't like wanting to do that though. Like outside of training, I've noticed like even training myself, like I'm like the last person that wants to start fights. I don't want to go out and beat people. It's just stupid.
No,
you
yeah.
know? We know we can train.
I gotta go.
Yeah, like bro, like
I got shit to do.
Yeah,
I don't want to fucking fight.
You can be the hero somewhere else, bro. Like we don't need that.
I still get beat up in my gym.
I still get my ass whooped.
People think that fighters want to go out and beat up people that don't know how to fight on the street. We don't want to fight anyone.
No.
It's not even fun for us to beat up some dude on the street.
That doesn't know how to train.
It's just like, it's not an accomplishment.
No, it's like, in my opinion, it's like,
I feel bad.
I feel bad, yeah.
It's disrespectful.
You know? Well, and just like, dude, like, why did you put me in this position to where I have to like apply this to you?
Yeah, exactly.
Because now you're fully realizing, oh shit, like I bit off more than I can chew. And now I'm
gonna have to beat your ass.
I have to do this now to, you know, even if you're doing it at the least amount of capability.
It takes a lot to make me actually touch you.
And usually the people that are doing that, they do pick off more than they can chew, and they're not gonna stop.
And so the dude that punched me at the gas station.
Yeah, they're not gonna stop.
Fucking
and
drill
so
me.
it's like,
damn,
you'll hit them and like. And you're like, I don't want to do this, bro. Like,
Like, I just looked at him, I go, why, dude? And he looks at me, I go, why? Why did you just hit me?
Yeah.
I go, dumb. Yeah. Not smart.
Could you imagine punch someone in the face and they call you stupid for it?
I mean, I had my glasses on. He punched me because I wasn't parked properly when I was pumping my gas.
Oh wow.
And they flipped out on me and were cursing me out, and I told them to blow it out their ass, and then they got in my face.
Weekly occurrence for him.
And fucker hit me
all the time, dude.
Whap, right on my chin.
So funny.
I couldn't believe it. And I just looked at him. And I was like,
he's getting flashbacks from Nam. He's
picked up my glasses. I'm like, why, dude? Why would you do that? What gives you the right to hit me?
Yeah.
You know? He's like, you're chewing my face. I was like, oh, you're a fucking idiot.
Well, that's good restraint on your part because a whole world of problems opens up if you.
I told him, I go, you just hit me.
Yeah.
I go.
You could have fucked him up at that point.
For sure.
I go. I can fucking. I looked at him. I go. I could fuck you up right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, well. I'm like, no, you hit me, dumbass. Yeah. And I looked at him. And I literally looked at him. I go, you know what? I go, it's your lucky fucking day. And he's like, why? I go, you see the kayak in the back of my truck? I'm gonna go fishing. That's what's saving your ass. I go. I don't feel like dealing with the police right now.
Yeah.
I said, get the fuck out of my face, you idiot. I go, I could have really hurt you. And he looks at his girl and he's like, I could have really fucked you up, dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's go. I go, good idea.
Good boy.
Oh, man.
And then I went to the lake and went fishing. But I'm like, that's how crazy it's getting out there. You know, so we don't want to fight. We don't want to go out there and touch anybody.
Mm-mm.
I was telling one of my students there was like an altercation after one of the shows with some big steroid dude in one of our female fighters' face.
Why?
Right. And she could fight, and we get outside and everything is like cooled down. She's like, she was mad still, and I was like, sometimes you just got to take a loss. I was like, sometimes not fighting
be the
back.
bigger person.
That's the win is getting to go home.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
But that wasn't a loss for her. It was a win.
You're almost more scary being calm. You know what I mean? Because you know when you have like the people and you got the one dude just like, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the dude that knows. Yeah.
There was also this one steroid dude with like 7 or 8 members of our fight team like were leaving the fight show. It's like, it was just a bad situation. Like if anything would have, and he was like yelling that he's the building owner, and I'm like, well, you're not security.
Cares. Yeah, nobody cares.
You're a civilian.
Yeah.
You know, like just because you own the building doesn't mean like you don't get to
talk shit.
You're not fucking. This isn't like a sovereign nation building. You don't get to just run this as law. Law still applies to you.
It's crazy.
But you know, it's just some weird. People are weird, like you said, and
people are interesting.
Power tripping, and I think that with how fast paced everything is, like with the technology and how easy a lot of things are. People just get really frustrated now when things don't go their way.
Yeah, they just have a shit fit if it didn't.
Facing any adversity.
It's just like, calm down. It's not that big of a deal.
And I feel like in reality, it slows it down. And they don't like that.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at that.
Because you'll meet someone that, you know, obviously that isn't too much in tune with that kind of stuff, and then it's just chill, and then you fuck with the wrong person, and then reality hits, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, they just get a little delusional on like what's actually what's actually possible for happening.
Yeah, you can get punched in the mouth anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter who it is.
And I love the was it that Mikey Mushemi guy, the little jiu-jitsu guy? He's like some little teeny skinny guy, and it's like this guy will fuck up this giant ass dude. It's like you don't know what that person can.
And
look
also,
like.
when he talks, he's like,
he's a little mousy.
Yeah, a little mousy dude.
Yeah, that's the last person you expected to fuck you up.
He will tangle you up.
Oh my God, yeah, no, and you won't even realize it until it's too late.
Yep, exactly.
Fuck, that shit's scary. Jiu-jitsu scares me more for the guys that are really high level like that, especially like no-gi competitors. Scares me more than like higher level strikers. I know I could go out with one shot. Having like my shoulder ripped apart, like my knee just destroyed.
It'd be a lot longer.
And I'm just like,
I play both worlds.
I know. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, anything with knees, bro.
Kickboxing is a blast, but it's definitely. I'll be honest with you, kickboxing is harder on your body than MMA.
Yeah,
it's fun.
That's the general consensus for everybody.
It's just the facts.
Yeah,
it's facts. I mean,
it's all action.
Win or lose, even if I had a great kickboxing fight and I won and I dominated, I'm still sore as fuck.
Right. I mean,
just you're using your shins
that was the one thing
to smash into other human.
Other bones,
you're gonna be sore.
Bones. Yeah.
Whether you whoop that dude's ass or not, you're gonna be sore,
I've
especially at the
never
pro
walked
level
out.
when you're not wearing pads.
Yeah, I've never fought with pads, so
really,
never no shin guards. Which is my first fight was Miles Coble.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
And I guess I think it was his 10th, but we were like fairly even because he had fought Bo Reedus a couple weeks before, or like a couple months before. But that was
Miles
MMA.
is no kickboxer, so.
Okay, well I mean I don't know
he's a wrestler.
Well. Yeah, and but he was good. He beat me. He fucking targeted on the leg kicks real well.
Yeah.
Because like I wasn't checking, and then he was throwing like the more the up kicks, like
the
Dutch style.
ones?
Yeah. And it's just that
nasty.
experience.
Yep.
And I was just like, damn, I'm just eating leg
One fight versus 10 fights. And that's what I'm talking about with Chase. Like he's talented, he's got the skill set, but he doesn't have the ring experience I want. So I'm not gonna like throw him at some title or anything yet.
Right.
And he's got 2 fights.
That's smart because a lot of people would be hungry for that. They would see that and see that, and
then a lot of people are like, "Well, won't you just put him in there?" And I'm like, "Dude, he's only got 2 fights. Calm down. It's not, I go, just because he's my kid doesn't mean he's like a UFC champ yet. Just chill out. He's had 2 fights. He dominated 1 fight and then had a good competitive second fight. So,
I actually like the second fight better too because I learned.
Well, the first one I was like,
the first one wasn't even like close.
That was lame. I mean, I was like, that shit was
not
too
like
easy.
arrogant wise.
Not
like,
arrogant.
just,
I thought the kid would. I mean,
it was just a mismatch or something.
Yeah, we just didn't know. It was my
purposely.
first fight.
It was his first fight.
I was locked in. I remember training. I was like,
that's hard to gauge.
Not losing.
First fight because like there's like how green is this person versus how green is this person?
Right. Well, I mean, I was honest. I mean, it was. My kid's grown up around it. He's never fought before. He's focused on basketball most of his life. But he doesn't suck because he's been around it. His dad's a fighter. And he's played, growing up. So I didn't know what I had yet.
Right.
With him,
I just remember that going into that. Like, there's no way in hell I'm fucking losing in front of my dad. And he's in my corner. Absolutely. For my first fight, no way.
He absolutely destroyed this kid.
No way.
I was actually kind of like, oh, that was too fucking easy.
That's funny because you like the Mamba mentality.
Yeah, fuck no. I was literally telling myself going in there like I will die. Like I'm not losing this fight. No
there's a Jordan game where, like I was watching the Last Dance or whatever it is, and he's like,
that's a great show.
Yeah, he's talking to the coach before Phil Jackson or whatever, and he's just
like,
don't worry, coach, you're not gonna lose your first game because they're all down and stuff like that, and he just goes off. So it's like same kind of thing. Like I'm not gonna fucking lose.
Yeah, no way.
And there's a lot of controversy, or you hear a lot of people like you gotta hate to lose more than you love to win and stuff like that. I think that it kind of boils down to like the person, but like more in like that situation, you deciding that and being definitive about it and then going and attacking it like that. I think that's more important than just a general I hate to lose.
Yeah, if you hate to lose and you fight not to lose, you're not gonna win.
It's
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like having that mentality that, I'm
going
to do just enough not to lose, like you're not going to win the fight.
And what do you consider losing?
Right.
That's different too.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Did I get the L? Yeah, I got the L, but I learned a lot in this fight.
Yeah, that's what the true L is in this game. Is to learn.
So
I like that.
I may have come up short. Cool. It's a ding on my record, but I learned I need to work on this, and this.
Yeah.
And wait, that next motherfucker's screwed. You know what I'm saying? So how are you going to take these? So are they losses or lessons?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
You know?
I think like at the
I've taken some losses that were straight up my dumb ass loss because I'm a fucking idiot.
Mhm.
You know, I have some losses that just pissed me off even to this day, but it's in the past.
Yep.
I'm retired, so it is what it is. So I take those as lessons now for the kids.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I will say. Like, I'm very blessed to like have like even his old footage. Like, I'll watch and there's the way he fights and stuff. It's pretty dope to see his old fights. Just a dog, you know. But
all grainy and shit.
yeah,
VHS.
but dude, they're so cool, and like I'm so lucky to have that because like I said, I feel like just even watching it, I'm a step above a lot of like people that have trained.
Yeah.
You know, just because I can absorbing knowledge is huge. You know,
Definitely.
That's you know, I wouldn't say like they call it for like jiu-jitsu like mat time and like cage time or whatever, but I feel like I've been around it so much like going to games and you can watch this and that or whatever, but like I've been around it. Even if I didn't fight, I was there. I was still there present. You know, so I know a lot more. Even when I do jits, like jits is not my favorite. I'd rather punch you in the face.
Yeah.
But
Same.
but I still figure out like ways like to randomly get out of stuff. I'm like, how the fuck did I remember that? And then I'm like, oh, because I've been around it my whole life.
Right.
I'm like getting an arm bar, but I'm like moving and I'm getting out of it. And I'm like, shit, I still remember that. That's cool.
Just a ton of exposure in the sport, even if you weren't like experiencing
He
yourself.
doesn't know anything better.
Yeah.
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 He's literally born into it.
Yeah. It's been my life. Like,
You know, and that's how I mean, at the time I was working a job, but I was going to training and I was fighting a lot.
Yeah, that was
And
your priority.
And then
Yeah.
that job turned into, that job went away and my career, it became my career.
Yeah.
So he's been around it,
mhm.
you know, his entire life. So, you know, whether he engages with it, that's on him. But I also try to teach my students, you only have, or fighters that
So
say they
long.
want to do something with the sport, and they're yipping and yapping, and they're 25 years old, and they've got one amateur fight. I go, well, you're 25 with one amateur fight.
Yeah.
I go, you know where I was at 25? I was into my pro career by this
Oh, damn.
time.
Okay.
I'm like, you guys are fucking behind the ball. I go, if you want to do this shit,
go.
let's fucking do it. Quit talking about
Let's
it.
make a run. Let's
I
go.
go, 25 to 35 is your best run.
Yep.
You never know where
I started when I was 26.
Right.
So I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have this isn't a sport of longevity.
No, but
So-
that black and white message that you have is
So I'm
just
just
like
like,
what I was hearing.
wake
So
up.
I'm like, shit, or get off the fucking pot.
Yep.
I'll move on to the next guy. If you want to just be recreational and fight every once in a while, high five. No problem. We can do that. But if you're telling me you want to turn pro and you want to try to make a career out of this,
Let's go. Yeah.
Quit
let's go.
fucking talking about it.
Yep.
And quit making your excuses. So I said, you know, in my opinion, 25 to 35 are your best years.
Yeah.
And if you take care of yourself, you can fight up into your 40s, early 40s.
Well, technology now helps a lot too. Recovery time and stuff like that.
No one at our age fucking fought. No one from our generation fought into their late 40s and shit very often. And every once in a while you get a freak. That
We got Yoel Romero. He's like 46, 47. years old,
Nobody
still
really
But-
knows.
Yeah, it's just how your
He's like
body
the
is.
experiment.
You know, the majority of guys, you know,
That's the journey, though.
Yeah.
You gotta love the journey, bro.
Yes,
You gotta
yes.
love the journey to get to like the love the reward. You know.
you know, it's you have a window. Don't waste it.
Yeah.
And I feel that a lot of these guys are just what they do on their phones. Oh, I got a date. Oh, what? Swipe left.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck, dude? Hit the bag. Shut
Yeah,
up.
that there's very little delayed gratification anymore, and that's what all combat sports is all about. Like you're doing all this fucked up process to get to that one show, and you're only gonna fight for 6 to 9 minutes for most people, or 12 minutes, or whatever it is, 25 title.
25 at the
Like,
most, man. But still,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got months
I
of
did a
training.
4-round fight once. That sucked balls.
Ugh,
I
4 or 5 minute rounds.
I've
that's
noticed.
rough.
It was a long fight.
I feel like a lot of times too, you know, you can say that. I mean, obviously, yes, it's bad to be short-minded, like short. I guess have a short memory as far as like training and stuff like that, or whatever. I can't remember what the word was, but it's also good to like put yourself out there too. Like don't be afraid to like record yourself, train, post it, and stuff like that. Because getting your name out there too is huge now.
Yeah.
Because social media is a big platform to help too. So I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, I feel weird doing this. So fucking who cares?
Everyone does it. Who cares?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking put yourself out there. Like try to get your name out there. And with anything too, obviously. But I feel like the fighting stuff too is huge.
Well, even Dana White had that statement, especially like coming on the after they had officially launched with Paramount. He was like, UFC is like not the best fighters, it's like the most recognizable
Yes.
fighters.
Yeah.
I can't
Oh, he
remember
did
exactly
say
his-
that?
He
Yeah.
said something about like how important
Promote-
social media, promoting yourself is.
I
Promotable
say
people.
because
Yeah.
Personalities. That's a big one.
I've seen some UFC fighters that are dog shit that are in
Yeah.
the
People
UFC.
love
And I'm
them.
just like, how the fuck? I mean, no offense, but Derek Lewis, come on.
Right.
The dude can't even trim. The dude, you can stand above him and he's not even, no one's sitting on him. He's still getting punched in the face. Just laying there.
People
Yeah.
just love him. He's
I mean,
a lovable dude.
because of social media, his
Yeah.
personality, and when he does win, he
It's
wins
fucking awesome.
in
Yeah.
big fashion. So he's more of entertainment. The UFC is definitely not the best fighters in the world.
Yeah. They need-
ONE FC has better talent.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Way better.
I think it comes to the marketability for the UFC at this point, especially being that. So if their biggest deal is through Paramount, I don't even know if that's even internationally based. I think it's just
No,
mainly
see,
national.
Yeah.
But there's got to be a platform where they can watch it outside of.
Oh, yeah,
There is.
definitely.
They're still doing
They're probably doing
pay-per-view.
pay-per-views in other countries, I'm sure.
I was watching a press conference with him talking about it, and there's still pay-per-view like in Canada and stuff like that, or different
Okay.
places that they're still getting it out there.
Okay.
But once what's really cool to me, and I was actually just talking about this with a buddy of mine, was you get all these people from like Brazil and different countries that love the sport and are really good at it, and they're coming over to the U.S. and fighting and making a name for themselves and fighting everywhere, right? Is we don't really think about it, but it is a worldwide sport, man.
Oh,
And we
for
can
sure.
we can make it, and now with this day and age with social
I
media,
mean, you could argument that it's one of the most
popular.
longest sports. I mean, pancration was a long time ago, and that's mixed martial arts.
Yep.
you
Yeah.
know, so you could argue that it's one of the oldest sports too. I mean, you can,
And it's always been international.
and
Yeah.
it's always been international because
Fighting.
it's always been a style of fighting from other countries. That's what created the idea
MMA.
of UFC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we created. Like, what would this style do against this
Exactly.
style? And that's what's so
Stylistic
cool.
matchups.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about it. But this day and age now too is like, dude, we got so much at the touch of a fucking button.
Yeah.
And so that's where it's like, man, you got this guy from Brazil that wants to fight this dude in the U.S. versus this guy in Russia, and that's what's so cool about it. That's why it's so big now.
Yeah.
It's because you got so many different
You can
aspects.
pull from any pool. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you're just a post away from fucking, you don't know.
Exactly.
Well,
in the social media side of things, it's like, well, it's not like necessarily like, ooh, I want this fight to happen because this guy's a fucking great fighter and this guy's a great fighter. Usually that talk happens when they're already on their roster.
Exactly.
And so because they're promoting their brand. They're not necessarily drawing in just random people. But if they're like, I can get that guy on here, but a couple clicks or having my guy contact their fucking manager or whatever, reach out to them.
Yeah, exactly.
And they will jump at the chance to be on this show.
1,000%.
And I mean, like talking to Jeff, and every time they come out here for their UFC fight night, it's like the biggest show that they've ever sold.
Dude, yeah.
And I've been saying this for a long time. The Pacific Northwest is like one of the huge fighting hubs of.
We always have been.
Yeah, exactly.
We've never got credit that we deserve.
Exactly.
I mean,
Everywhere
look
I
at-
talk to you says how tough the Pacific Northwest
Well, just
fighters
think
are.
about
Yeah.
where did the first UFC heavyweight, one of the first UFC heavyweight champs come out? Linwood, Washington.
Yep.
Randy's from Linwood. Okay. Where's DJ from?
Parkland.
Parkland.
Right here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Josh Barnett was from, I think originally from Montana, but grew up around here.
Kies from here, right?
Kies from Spokane. You got a lot of talent that has been coming out of this state since this sport's been popular anyway.
Oh, yeah, most mid.
Before.
Yeah.
I mean, why do you think like Evan Tanner's from Texas? He moved to Portland because he wanted to train with Team Quest. It's Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Yep.
3 hours up the road. Well, hour and a half, 2 hours
From
Tacoma.
here. Yeah.
We also just have the best fans in anything here.
And,
Football, basketball, like we need the Sonics back for one.
Yeah.
And MMA, I mean UFC, everything. Like, dude, we love sports here.
That's a great call.
So that's why we're bringing the UFC here. We need it more. Like, we need to bring it here more and more and more.
We need to be like one of their regulated like
fight night
spots.
areas. Yeah. We need to have it all the time because it sells out every time. Everyone's like, dude, you going? Yeah. And that's where I was bringing it back to. Like, it's so cool to go into stores and see people rocking like different fighters and stuff because fuck, dude, like my dad built it from the ground up.
Yeah.
And so now to see that people are getting their flowers for it, it's dope. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. That is something to be said, is like at least the ones that are making it to the top, you definitely help pave the way for those guys.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
Like I said, what is it? It's like you don't get paid for the legacy, but you get remembered for it, something like that.
That's kind of what the legacy is, anyways. I mean, like by the time I had my opportunities, I didn't like the politics, and I turned it down.
That's another huge thing. Politics is so much bullshit.
I could have been definitely in the UFC, but the way they wanted me to do it, and at the timing was just not.
Yeah.
I said never mind, because I was on my end of my run, and they wanted me to do a bunch of bullshit, and I was like, I'm not fucking doing all that.
Do
shit.
stuff for their brand.
For their brand.
Yeah.
It was basically, I was basically guaranteed a spot on their season, because I tried out for another season and I made it. Except there was season 10 was actually 3 weight classes at the tryouts. It was heavyweights, light heavyweights, and middleweights. And I didn't even know that they were doing middleweights, and I ended up trying out just because I was fucking there.
Oh, okay.
And I ended up cruising through it, no problem. Ended up in Vegas, and they were going to put me on the show.
Oh, damn.
But they failed to say. I thought it was kind of weird. You had 3 weight classes. Well, turns out that my weight class was a backup. They just failed to mention that, because that was trip. I thought it was just a heavyweight tryout, so I took Kovacs out there.
Okay.
And then they had my, it's not even my weight class. I'm a welterweight, but I had fought at middleweight plenty of times, so it's like, fuck it, I'm here. And Charlie's like, are you fucking trying out for that shit? He goes, your dumb ass will probably make it. and I did, but I ended up turning it down. But it was just, so they told me basically that I'm guaranteed another spot next season. The reason why they're not going to use me this season was because Kimbo wasn't going to sign to be in the show, so they were going to use light heavyweights and middleweights if that was going to be the case. Well, he had 1 day to make a decision. He decided to sign.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I they spent all that money flying me out to Vegas and doing the old fucking white vans and doing all the medicals and all the bullshit you see on TV.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you're in, basically. And then they go, so we want you to try out again, but you're in. But you have to do the tryouts again. I go, I'm not really down for that.
Yeah.
They're like, well, but you are guaranteed a spot. You're in. You're on the show next season. But you got to do all that tryouts again. I go, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I go, if I'm in, why don't you just put me on the undercard or something? They're like, well, if you want to fight for the UFC, you're going to do the show our way. I go, but I'm not doing the show your way. And I just hung up.
Was Rampage was the coach that season?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Season 10, that was a long time ago. They're on season 36 now.
I don't follow it that close, but damn, that's a lot.
Yeah, well, I hadn't followed it for a long time either until, Paramount's, I pay for it. So I stumbled upon it. And I was like, I'll check out the new season, see what's going on.
That is something I will say. Is like, I don't give a fuck about reality shows, but I'll turn on Tough or fucking Contender Series just because
Bilal's fighting on the August 11th.
Oh yeah, I would love to get him on here. I was talking to Chris earlier today. Vasil. Vasil. I actually met him at the scrapyard. I've seen him around at Koga and stuff.
Yeah.
Chris is dope. Yeah, I was like, get you on the podcast, man. He's all smiles and stuff. I hope to get him on.
He's a fun guy. You enjoy that podcast.
Yeah, he's super cool. Yeah,
he's fun. Bad Apple.
Yep. I've met, just since I've been doing this, so like the way that I started with the podcast is, we were working through how to go about social media for Vital Jiu-Jitsu and Street Slick Muay Thai, because it was in a disarray. And our gym was like really getting our traction back with our fight team coming back and stuff. And so it was like a weird situation. So I started my Sway City Muay Thai podcast thing. And just since I've done that, I've got to like put myself out there and meet so many more people.
Dude,
I'm not just like in the hole of my gym and just staying quiet and staying to myself anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of in my own little world up north,
Yeah, but you've already gone everywhere and met everybody.
Yeah, I have. I've been all over the place. Now I'm just kind of chilling in my small town. I'm doing my own thing now. So
that's cool though.
That's the avenue though, like doing your podcast. You're meeting so many different new faces and stuff like that, new people in the sport. That's gonna be crazy. The future, you know, you're seeing a lot of cool stuff. That's dope.
And I like to have people on because I get to gain perspective. There's like we're talking about like learning lessons and stuff like that. Every single podcast I've done, I've taken something away. I'm like, what can I learn from this? So, and like, how can I apply that back to the students, sort of thing. So there's always something. But then we get to talk about like, okay, you're looking for an opponent, 185. Like, there's always like a way to help build a community.
Yeah, 100%. I'm trying to find. There's not a lot for pro kickboxers to do in the state.
Yeah.
Or in the U.S. in general. that kind of gave me the idea of starting my promotion. You know, it started all kickboxing.
It's
at
dope
first,
too.
but
Yeah.
and
I actually have praised you a bunch of times. I don't know if you've caught it, but on the show, I'm like the fact that you run, because we're a kickboxing Muay Thai school. Like we don't, and we're like MMA, kickboxing. Once in a great while, there's a Muay Thai fight around here, but like
everything's been MMA based for so many years.
Yeah.
And I've always loved striking. You know, obviously I did a lot more MMA. There weren't a lot of opportunities in kickboxing or any pro opportunities by any means back then. So I just decided when I promoted, I'm going to start with kickboxing. I think I started doing MMA, I think war number 9 or 10 was the first time I started doing it, and we're on 16 coming up.
Okay.
So we're still a super young company, even though we've been doing it, almost 8 years now.
Yeah, I thought it was longer than that, to be honest.
You know, but we're only on 16 shows.
Yeah, but that's a good amount of shows.
You know, but I started out going kind of hard, 3-4 a year, and then I realized that more isn't always better. So I've slowed it down to 2 a year, and then you know, throw a couple smokers in between.
Brian Johnson talks about that's the key to his success too. And he's like, I get to
shout out.
I support Brian.
He shows a lot of love to you guys.
Brian's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Brian's been a good friend of mine for years, and he's always been loyal. And we chit chat and converse a lot, and we're straight up with each other, and we try to navigate around each other and help each other out. I mean, I hate the promoters that are always trying to just stick shit and, you know, oh, fuck that, I'm going to take this guy off of that card and this card. They're out there. I won't throw anyone under the bus, but they know who the hell they are.
As soon as you said that, one person came to mind, I won't throw them out there either.
I'm not going to say names, and, you know, some people love me, they fucking hate me, whatever. But I'm a straight shooter, and I don't like mismatches. You know, if there is a mismatch on my show, I didn't mean for it to happen, because I try to match my fights as close as possible on paper. Because if you go to my shows, and I feel that most people feel the same way, that most of my fights are pretty close fights.
Yeah,
like there's always going to be one or two one-sided fights. It's just fighting. It could even be on paper, could be a perfect matchup, and dude gets clipped, it's over. So you can't control all of it, but I do my best to make fair, exciting matchups. I don't want first round finishes 10 times.
It keeps it very legitimate and respectable. It's like, you know.
And you can also go to my card and realize I don't pad my guys' record, because I've actually had 3-4 fighters on my own card and gone 0-3. On my own card.
That happens too.
I'll be like, don't you guys say I fucking, you know, find my guys wins. You know, I find my guys fights. It's up to them to win.
Exactly.
You know.
A lot of similarities between you and Brian Jones for that.
We come from the same generation.
Right, and I love that generation because it promotes the black and white, like you talked about, the honesty and the respect that comes along with the lineage, all these sort of things that, if that wasn't perpetuated by your generation and hopefully passed on to like the next generation that we can pass it on, it's going to get lost.
Because you're the next generation. He's actually the generation after.
I know,
you know
but you can directly lineage this to him as
kid,
well.
Sure.
And growing up with it, like you could be that version for the next. But
be the better. I try. He tells me all the time, just be the better version of me and do what I didn't do. You know, and that's where I try to like. That's why I like to listen a lot, because, you know. The first fight, like I said, like I didn't listen at all. It was just my first fight. I was like,
he listened, like I even bitched him out a little bit afterwards.
No, he was like, dude, you didn't throw a fucking single punch. You didn't throw a jab. It was terrible, but you won. So good job. But
I said, I'm not gonna like steal your thunder, but
it wasn't the best fight.
Special.
No, and it wasn't. Watching the fight now, I was like,
I told him straight up. I go, you didn't fucking listen at all. I told you to throw punches. You didn't throw any damn punches.
They're just cool pictures. That's all. That's the first fight's from. But
it's okay.
You know, I
a
like
lot of first fights are throwaways.
Well, that's kind of why I threw him at Olaf.
Yeah,
because he kind of pissed me off a little bit with not listening to me. So
like
I said,
this dude's gonna take your head off if you don't.
If you don't listen, you're gonna pay the consequence.
Yeah,
and then he stepped up.
Do you think that having like matching in that specifically and having that sort of talk with him kind of like framed it so that you do take it more seriously?
1,000%.
Or okay,
1,000%. And the big deal too was like I said, with listening to him we got guys in there that have been there for. You know, in the gym, we've got a few guys that have been there for a while, and I gotta listen still. You know, and even training with certain people, you know, you're not always getting better just from you know sparring. You're getting better from sparring and listening and learning and doing different things that you didn't do before, And that's why it's good to be consistent and have discipline. And that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing is not a lot of people will get up and run those 3, 4, 5 miles and then go and then train, you know? And so even if I'm not at the gym with him, I even just like yesterday, I was like, he called me and I was like, yeah, I just got done running. And he's like, oh, shit, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the difference between people, especially with my D2. That was a lot of discipline because there's the days where it fucking hurt. Like after surgery and getting up and going to physical therapy, or after physical therapy, you know, working and then going and running, or going to the gym and working on, dude, my leg was like, I had no muscle after surgery and after the time. So getting that back helped me mentally,
Okay.
you know, with work.
Now, going through all that, and obviously, like, you have your knee as well.
I never fixed mine.
Well, I watched Brian Jones blow his. Well, I wasn't there, but he blew his out. I don't know if you probably remember that, but he same kind of thing. Had it fully dislocated and stuff, and like that. People don't realize like how much that affects everything, and then the atrophy that comes with it.
Oh, for sure.
Well, you can still to this day tell that
you can tell.
it's atrophy compared to my right leg.
Yeah.
You know, and you can tell that there's a lot of scar tissue in here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, it's ridiculous.
Well, like the major injuries everybody's got, like I ruptured my L5-S1 lower back, like my disc. So and I never got surgery either.
So I did get back surgery because I couldn't even walk.
I couldn't either, but
I fought in Korea.
I was too afraid to get
I
surgery.
fought
Really?
in Korea with L4, L5 out.
Ooh.
It was brutal.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I didn't win the fight. I could
Well,
barely.
yeah, you can say you could barely move. And
A month before that fight, I was coaching off of my back, laying on my back with my legs up,
I remember pictures of that.
and I'm screaming instructions. And then I was scheduled to fight 3 weeks later, and people are like, "Are you still gonna fight?"
It's that generation,
I'm
dude.
like, "I'm fucking fighting." I go, "I'm still fighting." They're like, "You can't walk." I go, "Not today." I go,
Yeah.
"But the fight's in a month."
I was like, I'm gonna feel better by then. I'll be all right.
I felt like shit, but
yeah, that whole attitude though.
But that was my mentality.
Yeah.
I fought when I fought in Hawaii, I broke my hand 2 days before I left for the fight. I looked up at Charlie. He goes, "Don't even say a word. I know you're still fucking fighting, stupid." I go, "Damn right, damn right." I said, don't you fucking pull that fight. He goes, "Let me guess, you just want to cast that shit and go for it." I go, "Yep." And so that's what we did. Went to Hawaii. I fought a southpaw with no right hand. It was fantastic.
Oof.
That's rough.
Damn.
Lots of elbows.
I was gonna say, like, that's my favorite weapon.
I know.
is a fucking
It
southpaw.
sucked. I had no right hand.
Yeah.
So I threw a lot of body kicks and
Yeah.
shit like that, and clinch and elbow. But
I have to make an adjustment, and it sucks.
but I had a guy pull out on my event for a bad toenail, dude.
I was just gonna say toenails.
What the
It's
fuck?
just like, what the fuck,
Toenails are the
you know?
like you're a pussy.
Yeah,
Like, fucking, I mean, no
I
disrespect.
literally told
but,
this
like,
person, I was
straight
like,
up, yeah.
I was like, "Hey
Take that
man,"
shit.
I was like, I'm like, "It's a toe, bro." He goes, "Yeah, it's really infected." I go, "I understand that." I go, "It's a toe."
Yeah.
I go, "The fight's in 2 days. You're gonna pull out 2 days before the card because of it."
Tape it up, bro.
He goes, "It's really hurts." I go, "I'm going to tell you this. You do what you got to do, and just know if you do pull out, lose my number."
We got a girl fighting on the smoker she's had a broken toe the last month, and we're just like, I'm like, "Can you throw that kick?" She's like, I'm like, "Let's just not throw that kick and you just box."
Yeah.
Like we're just gonna make an adjustment. I was like, and you do the test, and you're like, "Well, do you need me to?" It's Crew Jones is doing that, but I'm asking the questions and the poking. And I'm like, "Do you need us to touch?" She's like, "Fuck no." She's down. Yeah, she's all tatted up in the face and shit.
badass,
She knows how to box and shit.
That's
So
funny.
we were doing it like because you know Drew Brokenshire, I'm sure. So we did the last smoker. She went on that one against a girl named Marie. That was one of Drew's girls.
Yeah.
And I'm in the back. I'm like,
Drew's a dog too, dude.
Drew's a dog, but I know I'm like, this girl's not gonna want to fight you. It was like because she'd be like, "Oh, I'm fighting her with the dreads or the cornrows and the fucking face tats," and then when I'm like, "All right, I want you to throw. We're gonna make these pads pop." And so pop, 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 and then they're like doing the Napoleon Dynamite, like no,
Yeah.
and then she fought well, but like it was a good separation. You could tell it was green versus green, but like one green was
Popping
different
and
level.
Had some snap and one.
yeah. Because she was like, "Oh, I learned to box when I was like 12, 13. She's in her mid-20s now, so it's a far gap. But still, that experience stays with you, athleticism.
Well, that's him just being raised around it. You know, yeah, he didn't do it every day, but I did hold pads from him. And I got videos of him 8, 9 years old. Pop, 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 pop.
That's cool.
I remember going into the second. I keep bringing this up, but like I remember going to the second fight, but having the confidence from being around it so long too, like it builds that a lot. Like I remember even first starting, and he put me in with sparring with some people that whooped my ass. But I was like, fuck, okay, I got something to prove, and I got a little bit of confidence, you know, walking in there. You gotta be a little cocky, a little bit, you know, and
You gotta have a little ego, otherwise you're dumb.
Yeah. And I just remember getting my ass whooped and looking at my dad. I was like, fuck, that shit sucked, but that was still fun. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, you still want to fight? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, all right, cool. And he knuckle bumped me. He goes, quit being a retard. We're getting fucked up. And so I was like, all right. And then I go in there and then, you know, do it a little bit better.
I just want him to, you know, CTE and brain damage is a big concern. And, you know, I suffered from some of it, you know, being an old school guy. And I don't want that shit for him.
Yeah.
You know, so I want him to move his fucking head.
You always want people
Box
below
a
us
little.
to do better.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that I have symptoms of it, but like I make jokes about it, and I'm like, oh shit, that could be real. You know?
Yeah,
like,
no, it's a real deal. I talked to my doctor about it, and she definitely said, she goes, yeah, I mean, you're not dead, so we can't put it on paper,
Right.
but she goes, you definitely have all the symptoms.
Yeah.
And
It's very real. We get hit in the head.
And my style back then too. I mean, I gained my rep by being durable.
Yeah.
I was the show because whether I won or lost,
It's entertaining.
it was you guys were
You're
gonna be
gonna get a
entertained. There's gonna be a fucking war.
Yeah.
And now I'm a little older,
Yeah.
and I'm struggling a bit with some things from it, and so I don't want that for my son. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another thing I tell him, could I have stayed in the business that I was doing and being just your regular Joe working at the grocery store and coming up through the ranks and someday manage a store and do all that bullshit?
Yeah.
I could have said, but I had to do this. I had to fight. I was fighting because I had to. You know, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
They're doing it for sport. Protect your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually, it's very, very kind of odd that like you're also in the grocery industry. It's one of the biggest industries, like second to medical only.
Well, it was
So everybody.
it was
Yeah.
an industry that, as long as you were
It
consistent,
was there.
Yeah.
the money was okay enough,
And the
the benefits were fantastic.
That's the biggest
And
one for
when
the grocery industry.
I had kids really young, and that was my best option.
Yep. That's how Winco always was. We're
You know,
like top notch benefits and you're making minimum wage and climbing up from there.
I worked from helper clerk to night manager to day assistant manager to turning down a promotion to tell them to fuck off. I hate this job.
Yeah.
You know,
I was assistant manager when I stopped working for Winco.
once I started getting into management, I ruined my life because then I started working more and no holidays off, and I was starting to get.
Bro, yeah.
I was starting to go to the salary. And
You work for them.
Yeah, it was fucked.
You were
That's
their
how
slave,
it was.
It was fucked. You were their bitch once you became manager.
That's exactly what it was for me too. Because I'm at the Winco out in Puyallup, and it's the same thing. Like I remember it was like got off at midnight or whatever, and then I still had to go do like a bunch of my schooling
I'd get
stuff.
off at midnight and then I'd have to fucking show up at 8.
Yeah, no, that's basically it. They're calling me like 2 hours later because like, oh, one of the alarms went off for the freezer, and I'm the bottom level manager, so I'm the first call that gets made, or the first one that has to go in. So it's like, I remember going in and like I'm driving there, I'm exhausted, and I'm like, I
Just pissed.
like, fuck,
Miserable.
just pissed. And like my focus when I wasn't at the gym, and when the times I had to take out and stuff, mainly because of this, and coaching wasn't paying the bills, and this really was, and it was like, my focus was always to get back in the gym, back to the gym, no matter what that looks like. If I'm fighting or I'm not fighting or I'm helping or I'm coaching or just a student, a hobbyist, whatever it is, but to be present because that's what I loved. Kind of felt like what you just said is like I have to do this for me, not because like there's careers out there, but you're not going to be satisfied as a human being. You're going to be one of those miserable people.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that, dude.
No.
And then I started getting in trouble at work all the time for showing up with black eyes. And when he's like, you're a manager. I go, yes, I'm aware. They're like,
That's why I wasn't at the gym.
You can't have a black eye. I go,
Yep.
but I can because I have it, and you can't tell me what to do outside of work.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to drop the things I love because you're worried about the black eye because I don't look cool stocking that shelf for you, bud.
Yeah.
And it eventually it was not going to work out.
I did the same.
You can't
shit.
be in a management corporate type job and get black eyes and be a pro fighter. It doesn't last very long.
I did my management interview, and they were like, you aced this interview. It was really impressive. But I did a big ass mohawk, fucking 80s style big ass mohawk.
Hell yeah.
And I walk out of there because like I had I can't remember what the hairstyle I had before that, but it didn't look like that. It looked like just a normal conventional hairstyle.
Yeah.
And then I came out of there. My district manager was at the facility at the time, and he looks at me. He goes from like excited to hear I'm there to just stone faced when he sees my hair up. So I'm like, this isn't gonna last very long. And so I contact my store manager, and I was like, can I come with the mohawk? He's like, dude, really? Like, this is the first question you're gonna fucking ask me.
Yeah.
And so, like, again, like that, you're coming in full, dressed nice, and everybody else isn't. And it's like, all right, I guess I have to appear a certain way.
Yeah, it didn't work out anymore.
Yeah.
But I was like, fuck it, all in, let's go, let's do this gym thing and sink or swim.
Passion fucking provides, though.
Well, it's either sink or
Pushes
swim.
you, man.
Yeah.
And then when you have kids you have to feed, you figure it out.
Especially when you decide you're going to. There's people that are kind of on the fence, and they'll be like, well, this isn't really working.
This is not an easy job. It's stressful.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fucking grind, and it's constant.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing this. I've had my gym 22 years now, and I'm not rich, and it's been a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
We're like any other job, paycheck to paycheck. A lot of times,
Yep.
I mean, sometimes it's feast or famine. Sometimes you're doing great. Sometimes you're doing shit. Summertime, not our time.
Right. Right. And everyone's outside doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
Everyone's
It's fun time.
canceling.
They want to be putting into work.
To cancel their memberships to go swimming.
Exactly. Canceling so they can have the money to go swimming. Or have fireworks monies or whatever.
So you got to grind. You got to grind hard.
Yeah, and that does kind of suck. Like I know a guy that he trains out at Fortis MMA in Texas, and he talks about, he's like, we got like 30 to 50 guys like that are either pro and a bunch of big UFC roster and stuff fighting out. And I'm like, that's one of those gyms that, I mean, I don't know how much they make or whatever, but you can tell that just being populated by people that are so dedicated. Like, and that is one thing that I dislike about the Pacific Northwest is we're the ones that are in, we're all in, we're fucking dogs, tough people, but you see a lot more of the casuals, the wishy-washiness.
Tons,
So
One foot in kind of thing.
Well, and that goes along with the more social media, the bigger it gets, you're going to have more casuals, more people are dabbling in it, and they're going to find out it's hard work, or it's really not their thing. Plus, like, I'm in a small fucking town, bro. I'm in a town of 20, 30,000 people.
Yeah.
If there's 8 gyms in that town, it's not working out very well.
Right.
I've been there for a long time, and there's 2 more gyms that have popped up as of the past 10 years. And I mean, that's kind of a lot for our small little area.
Yeah.
So it's constant. You got to keep that fucking grind. You got to be in people's face. It's not a job for someone who wants an easy way by any means. It's a job of passion, though.
Yeah, exactly.
And the lives that you can touch during this sport.
It's all good.
It's pretty cool.
That's probably the best part for me.
Yeah.
I mean, because if it wasn't for a few key people in my life, like Charlie, I don't know where I'd be.
Yeah.
I didn't come up with a good background. I did this sport because I had a shitty background and because I had to struggle and I had to fight my way out of that shit. But now I have an opportunity to use this sport to have made a decent life for myself so that these guys have a better opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's worth more than money because we're not here forever.
Exactly.
Shit, I'm 50, so, time flies.
Old man.
It's not that old. I'm 41, so.
I'm 9 years older than you.
I love to mess with him.
No, I know. I do the same shit.
He knows that's a...
Because Crew Jones is I'm 41 and he's 50.
Yeah.
So same thing.
Yeah, we're the same age.
Give him shit. He's actually born on the 28th of December, on the 29th, so we get to give each other shit right around the holidays.
Nice.
But no, kind of just dialing things back to what you said. I've been in the position where I had a job and I was making really good money, and if I carried that on, the big fancy house or whatever I wanted, essentially, as long as I worked for it, but I wasn't passionate about it. And then going back to this, like you said, this isn't a sport where there's money. This is a sport of passion, but the passion provides for you. I don't need to make a ton of money. I can just make enough and be happy,
Right.
and that provides so much more. And when I'm happiest is when my students are doing well and the community's, you know what I mean? Like, it's just it's good to be like uplifting, you know?
Yeah.
And just like you said, the lives that you get to touch inside the gym, that's so important because they get to finally find some place that, and a person that they can trust and is going to tell them directly like it is. They know that there's no sugarcoating. When somebody tells you directly like, that sucks, you have to do better. There's no like, oh, are they being for real with me?
I just tell them straight up,
Yeah.
this is fucked and this is the way it is. It's unfortunate, but it's either you deal with it or you don't.
Yeah.
Sink or swim.
Well, and it's a lot of places where
You know?
you're accepted, you know, because a lot of people do a lot of things that they're not accepted at, and they feel accepted at the gym. You know?
Well,
And
that's
they
what's
have
great
they have
about
a
martial
family.
arts is
Yeah.
we accept everybody. Everybody's got their own journey, and we just want to help you get to your journey.
Yeah,
and get your
just
goals.
better yourself. Yeah,
You know, whether it's to do that one bucket list fight or just to be in the community.
yeah.
Or if you want to be that pro fighter, as long as you live up to my expectations, then that might happen.
Yeah.
I've had lots of pro fighters and I've had lots of amateur fighters, but I've been coaching for a very long time, and this generation is a lot more challenging than generations I've trained in the past, for sure. As far as like wanting to train,
I was just going to say
they're just fucking lazy.
that desire,
The
that
desire
you can't
to
teach.
grind. I think we're coming into the generations where maybe there was some soft parenting somewhere in their life or something. I don't want to offend anybody, but
Well, the 8th place participation
Yeah,
trophies
it's
didn't do
just
anything
like-
for anybody that
like-
wants to compete.
Yeah,
yeah, it's just
exactly.
like, no, you lost. Don't give them. Like, I don't give.
Yeah,
I don't.
They need that
At my,
clarification.
at my promotions, like I go to promotions and they give the winner and the loser a medal.
Yeah, that's so weird.
I fucking
that's
hate that.
really
Yeah,
like,
why
look
would
at
you
this
do
loser fucking
Yeah, I
belt. Like,
lost.
I almost feel stupid walking
Yeah.
away with a loser
So
marker.
I don't know how many
Yeah,
times I've gotten
yeah.
like I've lost a fight and they hand me a medal and I'm like, shut.
What the fuck did you waste your money on a
Like,
loser thing?
Like, I don't want your medal, bro. I lost. Get the fuck out
Yeah,
of here.
like,
So-
I don't get it.
So
but
like I don't make any loser medals for my
Yeah.
promotion.
thank you.
Smokers,
It's goofy.
From me to
smokers.
you.
Everybody
Yeah.
knows that everybody gets a medal because they're all exhibition.
Oh,
matches.
that's kind of cool though.
So I give
most of them don't get shit at smokers.
Oh, I give them medals.
That's cool.
Yeah, I run it just like an amateur show.
Cool. I like that.
They wear shin pads. I have a referee. We have a rule set, and
Yeah.
they walk out by themselves. The other person walks out, but they're exhibition matches, so there's no official winner.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
so they get the real experience of a real show in a very small atmosphere, except it doesn't fuck the record up.
Damn, you and Crew Jones are like one and the same.
You know,
Like
so
this is
I don't run smokers to where you weigh in and you fight the. I have a problem with them because
like the tournament style
there's some-
smokers.
Yeah, there's just mismatches. There's so many mismatches when you show up, you weigh in, and you fight whoever's your weight.
Yeah.
You don't know how long they've been fighting. You don't know how long they've been training. And I've taken my fighters to smokers like that, and we've been outsized or out, most of the time,
Yeah.
and stuff. And I don't know. We don't do that when they're amateur fighters.
Right.
So why are we teaching them that way before?
Well, and it's easy for people to lie and pad their record on those style smokers because they're not. You don't look into them as heavily, especially like as a promoter or as coach to coach. And you can imagine like they're shitty. You already know there's shitty coaches out there that'll be like, oh, this guy's got 100 fights in Thailand.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's 0-1
Here.
here.
I heard about
Yale
it.
just
shit.
fucking fought a guy like that.
Oh, did Yale end up fighting a guy like
Yale
that?
fought a guy like that, and it was so stupid.
I heard that there was another situation on a certain show with a certain person that was really upset, and that certain human being had 2 fights, but where they were from, they actually had like 80 fights.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've already heard about that. Yeah.
I know exactly the
Yeah.
situation that you're talking
Yeah.
about.
It's pretty fucked up to do that.
Well, I mean, it's completely fucked up.
Yeah.
Like at what point does this benefit anyone?
No one. Even the
doesn't.
guy who wins, he's not getting any
Right,
better.
and you're gonna, the truth will fucking out itself. Like the truth is gonna.
Someone's
be
gonna
out
figure
there.
it out.
Yeah. Just like it happened, and then the person that submits us lose how much credibility. Like nobody's gonna want to fuck with those people.
Well,
No.
that same team, I already had issues with that team a while ago, and I've already blackballed them like a year ago.
a lot of people have.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, and that's another thing. It's like,
They're disrespectful,
yep.
and even when they're not at the event, they are disrespectful on social media.
What they talking shit to?
They were talking shit. Yeah, it's fine.
I remember that whole thing.
I just cut them off, and I just said, and I contacted the coach, and I said, hey, maybe you should tell your fighters not to message other people and probably other promoters and talk smack about them.
Yeah.
On social media, it's not really respectful. And
That's bad form.
And I've been like, bro, I've treated you and your team with good respect, and I feel that I provide a very good platform for you guys. And you should probably talk to your student. He goes, I don't tell my students what to do. They do what they want. I go, well, that's a reflection of you. I go, so you, sir, you and I, we're done.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I have much respect for you. I go, well, I don't have respect for you.
Yeah.
And I blocked his ass.
Smart.
Yeah,
that's, well, like you said, like, it doesn't do anything for anyone, and like you lose credibility inside of your community.
Well,
where
they don't
you
get to fight on war now.
Yeah,
because
it's a big platform.
Because of their bad attitude and their disrespect. And that's it. Fuck them. I don't need them.
Yep. I've got 2 gyms like that. Well, it's mainly 2 people, but
right.
Like you said, reflections and stuff like that. And I completely understand. They don't even get like, I want to answer the phone call kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, type of
well,
shit.
there's
So,
some promotions I won't work with.
Right.
In general.
Yeah.
I'll work with a few people in the state, and I'll work with Joe and Travis and Brian. And some smaller shows here and there.
Again, shout out Brian. Dude's fucking awesome.
I love that guy.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
Every time he comes to war,
I don't take
man,
my
everything
fighters
he says is positive.
to very many places anymore, except I'll take my guys to Koga or to Brian. To
Brian show
Travis'
was fun.
Yeah.
That was dope.
The guys that are legit and have been doing it a long time and will be straight with me.
Yeah. And have the credibility.
Just hard bitches.
Other people I've had bad experiences with. I don't like their attitude. I don't feel safe on their cards. I'm not taking my guys to.
Yeah.
I mean, we have some bigger promotions in this state that have no business doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
You're smiling because you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna rub. I'm not gonna throw people under the bus.
Right.
But really
you guys
bad
should
mismatches.
be happy that we're not doing that to you guys too.
Yeah. Well, they'll throw us under the bus. That's okay. But that shows
character.
That shows their
exactly.
Character.
Let them do that.
I just want I want a fantastic show. I want a good experience. I try to treat the fighters as much. I try to give them a little swag. And I was a fighter.
That's cool.
I know it means a lot when people give you a little something for your efforts.
It goes a long way.
And I'm not a cheap promoter. Sometimes I should be cheaper. I'm like, damn, if I didn't buy that shit, we would have made that much more money. It's like, but the fighters are happy. I'm like, yeah.
That's the biggest part of it. It is, and that's what keeps.
I give the MMA guys, they take their gloves home with them.
That's cool.
That is dope. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I get new MMA gloves every event.
Nice.
I don't do it with the kickboxing gloves because they're a bit more expensive.
Yeah, quite a bit.
And I can get a little more usage out of that. But once you use an MMA glove, it kind of forms to your hand.
Yeah.
So I feel like might as well just give them to the guys and give them a little something so they get their gloves too.
Yeah. They break down pretty quick too, MMA gloves.
Yeah.
Or they can.
And then I put my guys at when people get rooms, I don't put them in some shitty ass little side bungalow down the road. I put them in the casino.
Yeah.
That's by choice. Those rooms are expensive, and they don't give us a discount on those.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
That's crazy.
That sucks.
I'm paying out of pocket for every room that we do.
I know other promotions, and they get comped a bunch of rooms.
They get comped those rooms.
Yeah, and so
I don't get comped.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That should change.
And also,
those are not cheap.
No, those are.
Anybody stay at a fucking casino hotel room full price?
And I pay for my venue as well.
Yeah.
So the casino doesn't control me.
I love that. I can't remember if it was Jeff or Brian that said that's how you operate out of pocket, and
it's tough. It's
but you get to call your own shots for the most part, right?
Correct.
Yeah, because I know a lot of places they're allocated a certain amount of funds.
Yep. You got this much to do the show. What you have left over is your pay.
Yep.
You got to make this happen. I want 12 fights. I want it over at 8:00.
Yep.
Or we're pissed off.
Yep.
You whether you sell the place out or not, you get the same money, but that can nip you in the dick because if you're not selling the casino out, the casino is going to be like, well, you're not filling their seats. We're going to go with someone else.
Yep.
So there's more pressure. There's pressure either way.
Yep.
But what battle do you want? Do you want to battle the casino and their rules, or do you want to have your own rule set and then worry about selling the show out and making money off tickets? It's whatever your evil is.
And I know somebody at the EQC that works in the back end on a lot of the event promotions and stuff, and he was telling me about how much they can sell out an arena or the whole show with like a comedian one night or 3 nights, and he's like, we gotta pay for one room, one fucking bar tab, like he's like, and it just sells out. So he's like, for us to put up 20 grand to put a fucking casino show and stuff like this and have all these logistics, all these things have to be met. He's like, we do it because it's popular, not because we make a killing on it.
Dude, I do not make much money off these shows.
I know.
Trust me.
I do. I trust you completely. Crew Jones ran Absolute Chaos for a year, and he's like, we're either in the plus column by this much or the minus column by that much. There's no in between. Yeah. And I think there was like 3 fights in a row where he's just like, I don't know if we're even gonna fucking do this again. Yeah. So it's hard, and they're popular. Like the event's full, but like your matchmaking, and that's a bitch. That is a bitch.
The hardest job that I found in this promoting is definitely the matchmaking.
It's so stressful.
It's so stressful, and people pull out on you all the time
for a toenail.
Yeah, for a toenail, or someone offers them more money. You know, the only thing that disadvantage I have that I feel like is because I'm paying out of pocket. I can't do casino pay, big pay. Yeah. I don't pay bad, but I don't pay like the UFC. Oh, right. You know what I mean? I mean, and like I even lost money on the show because I'm paying out of pocket, and I was flying a guy out from fucking Texas. Oh yeah. And I paid for his shit, and then he pulled out and refused to pay. And you know, I lost money.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. That's hard not for me to say, because you guys like, I'm not gonna say names, and I know all these people. I'm like, hey, and I'm not gonna say yes.
Well, I mean, like it's a. When you start to say these names, like anybody that trusts you, it does kind of downgrade those people with those names. And it says more to your character that you're not going to throw them under the bus. And in my opinion, like I would think higher of you because of that versus thinking, I wouldn't think less of you for saying their name, but I'll think less of that person. Sure. And you're not passing that on to them.
No, I'm not trying to put a bad taste in people's mouth. I'm just telling the story of how things go, you know?
But no, like that shit's a pain. Did you forget to answer?
No, I'll call her back. It's my daughter. She's like,
well, we do got to wrap up pretty soon. It's almost 9, so we've been chatting for a bit. Good. But what do you want to? What do you guys each want to say before we close out?
I don't know. I'm not a big podcaster, so this is maybe like my second one.
Maybe come out to
the show. You know, come out and check out. If you're up north in Snohomish County and you're looking for a good gym around the Arlington, Marysville, Everett area, I'm right there in Arlington, and I've been doing this for a long time now. Got lots of experience and have done everything in this sport at some point. And then swing in. If you're in for a week, you want just a place to have a good place to train for a week, come on by. Won't even charge you for a week. You know? It's all good.
That's nice of you.
And then if you're moving to the area and you're looking for a place to be, definitely look us up. Definitely if you're looking to be entertained this November, this will be my 16th show. It's very seldom they don't sell out, and we do MMA, kickboxing, and we even have sometimes I'll throw a high-level jiu-jitsu match on. Cool. You know, it is in a ring, so it's not a cage. So visually, in my opinion, it's better. Mm-hmm. And also, the MMA fights are faster paced because you don't have the cage that you can lay on. Yeah. And it doesn't hold you there for 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If you're not action and your butt hangs out the ropes, they're going to center it up. The action starts up. It's faster paced MMA.
I like that.
You know, it's not. I'm not saying it's better or this or that. To each their own. It's just a little different. It's just a faster paced fight because you can't hug each other against the cage. Yeah. You can still hug each other against the ropes, and as long as you're active, you do the same thing as a cage, but there's just less material to hold you there, so it gets centered up a lot more, and it makes for really fast paced fights. Yeah. And same thing with the kickboxing. You know, I don't do a ton of the clinching. I do a little bit of clinching with a lot of knees. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's glory style.
Yeah, I was going to say glory.
I am going to start incorporating Muay Thai.
Okay, excellent.
Just because it's a great sport, and I think that again, kickboxing, we need another avenue. Yeah. But we will do those in smaller gloves.
That's badass,
so dude. If you want to do my favorite. If you want to do Muay Thai on War, we will do that, but you're going to be in MMA.
I promise you, some guys from our team are going to want to get on that.
Yeah,
so we'll talk.
Yeah, I'm all about that. Cool. I'm about doing Muay Thai with MMA gloves.
Yeah, I love it because they're always asking me like, "Is there anywhere around here we can do?" I'm like, "It's so limited, but like it will happen." So yeah,
I'm down.
That's sweet.
So
any of my students listening,
so let's talk. The next show is November 7th. So
cool. Dude, hell yeah, and We did sponsor with Relentless Mouthguards. The last fight of the night was Seven Linford and I think Lin Yang.
Lin Yang,
yeah. So that was fun.
You guys want to come out and do that?
I was going to say I would love the opportunity to sponsor fight of the night again.
Hell
That'd be great.
I love it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
and
cool.
I'll make sure.
And the only reason why I'm doing it is because he's a cool guy, but he has a great product as well.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I'm not going to sell some bullshit on my promotion by any means.
I need one too. I need to get one.
We'll make sure you get fitted up.
Hell yeah.
So, well, yeah, and obviously, like Jeff being one of your students and stuff like that, he taught me how to do it all. And like,
I actually know how to make them too.
Nice.
I just don't like doing it.
Yeah, that's what he was breaking down. He's like, I get so fucking tired. He's like, didn't do it for like 10 years. And he's like, it's crazy. I could just do this without fucking even trying.
Yeah.
And he's like, boom, here you go. He's like, how's it fit? I'm like, perfect.
I can already hear Jeff, like his voice, dude. I've known him for so long.
I always do the little impressions, but he's got the little deeper, scruffy voice. I fucking love that guy.
A little mumbling.
Yeah, I love Jeff.
He's been doing me a big favor, helping out with that, and like letting me help judge a little bit. Like it was one of the judges at Redemption, so that was a lot of fun. Nice. Like I told him, I want to make a living in combat sports.
Yeah.
You know.
So you're gonna have to do multiple things like me.
Yep.
But we love doing what we do, and at the same time, we're changing lives, man.
Yeah. That's what I get instead of the big paycheck.
And
same as you.
At the same time, I'm 50 years old. I'm realizing time flies. We're not here forever, so let's leave a good imprint.
Yeah.
Legacy, man. Lineage.
Yep. Exactly.
Exactly.
Passing it on to the next generation as best we can.
Yeah.
Yep.
And guys, anybody listening, please value, like, I'm not talking about myself, but like value your coaches and value the lineage, because we're not asking for a ton and we give so much. Like, I'll be there every time holding pads. I'll be there. I'll have every one of my students back no matter what. I always say, just make sure I'm right when I get there.
Well,
yeah.
But also, if you want the work done for me, you got to put in the work as well.
Yep.
And that's what I tell my students
Just
all the time.
there.
Oh, you want me to hold pads for you? I go, why should I hold pads for you?
Mm-hmm.
Where were you last week? They're like, well, I was swimming. I go, oh, I was here.
Yeah.
I was holding pads for that person.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, okay. So you hold pads? I go, when you earn it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. When we're holding pads, he's the only one I trust. Like,
Yeah.
I'll ask him, like, hey, Dad, like, can you hold pads for me? And he's like, I'm a little busy right now. I'm like, okay, well, no one else is gonna, so
Yeah.
I'm not doing it with anybody else.
That's how it was with Crew Jones, and I feel honored that he has kind of brought me on as a second in that regard, especially like having seen and had so many people go through the ranks.
Well, if he trusts you, then you're legit, because he's been around a long time.
Thank you.
I have a lot of respect for that guy.
Yep.
Luckily, we never had to fight each other. We were in the same weight classes, and
Oh, shit.
those talks had happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that Brian fucker, he's tough.
He still beats the shit out of people.
Yeah.
He'll drop his hands like, "I'll dare you to fucking punch me in the face," just so he can do the get back.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
you talked about, like, you can hit me, I'm gonna hit you
shots.
harder.
No, you kids are gonna hit me plenty now.
Yeah.
We're too fat. We're old. We don't like to move that much anymore.
Yeah.
We're just like, all right, fuck you guys. Hit us a few times, and I'm gonna take your head off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might not.
Garners respect.
I might pay for it later when you guys aren't around at home. Going, oh fuck, but I'll get it done. I'll get it done.
Yeah.
I'll make it happen.
Yeah. That's kind of another tough one to walk, is being like, all right, I'll get it back. We're talking about that really athletic fucking kid. I'm like, he's going to land the 20, but I'm going to get him once. I'm fucking dump him. Or like,
nasty one, yeah.
he's really fast, but he's like really spazzy and kind of jumpy. He's really rounded out since then, but like,
Nervous, kind of twitchy.
not even nervous,
Well,
but
when I
like
say nervous,
too fast,
Yeah.
like too uncontrolled with how he throws. So he'll throw like a heavy body kick, and I'm just like, all right, now you're getting a full sweep.
Yeah.
So like, just shit like that versus like using it to set up or displaying a little bit more control
When I
from
kicked you in the
experience.
head.
Well, it helps if you hit the fucking pad.
I kicked over the pad and hit him in the head by accident.
That happens.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Not that it should, but
I'm like,
No, he
bro,
was
you
pissed,
you
dude.
missed the fucking. He neck kicked me.
He looked at me and he goes, "What the fuck, dude?" And I'm
Juan
like,
dropped me with an elbow because he missed the pad, and I'm like, dude, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like I
just-
got to be able to hold pads still.
I'm like, bro, I'm gonna go brain dead.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a very real thing.
Yeah.
But what do you want to say before we close? I don't want to keep you guys here too much longer.
just simple, man. Just like if you want it, just get it.
Yeah.
That's the simple thing, man. Like you don't. I mean, this sport's not just to fuck around. If you want to compete,
Yeah.
And that's what he tells me all the time, and that's why I'm trying to take as much as I can. Listen, be coachable, just work hard.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, hoping for a fight November 7th.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. Looking for an opponent. If anyone has any ideas or knows anyone that's looking to fight at 185.
185. Yep.
Yep. K1 style. So we
Cool.
throw knees.
Yep.
But we don't do a long clinch and we don't do the sweeps.
Does your K1 style where you have to enter off of a punch, off of a strike, or is it just you can grab and clinch still?
You can grab it.
Some of the K1 other rules,
If you're in
like
the
show by
clinch
show.
and you grab the head and you want to throw a couple knees,
Perfect.
that's illegal.
Okay.
Okay, but we're only going to give you 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then
I was in one promotion where they're like, no, you can't clinch until they throw a punch, and now you can clinch. Like that's the only way you're allowed to enter.
Well, I let my pros do elbows.
Oh yeah, I know Juan
that style.
fought on there, and when Jeff was doing the rules meeting, he's like, "You guys are good for elbows." I was like,
Yeah.
"For real?"
So I
'Cause we
basically-
weren't training elbows.
Yeah,
I'll
so-
take it.
fuck
So
yeah.
war kickboxing rules is basically glory style, K1 style.
Yeah.
But for the pros, I've added the elbows.
So it's
they're kind of
pretty much Muay Thai.
To a certain extent, yeah.
Full extended
without
clinch.
the clinches and sweeps.
Sweeps,
Yeah.
yeah. Can you catch still or no catch?
You can catch,
Yeah, you can
but you
like
got to
Muay
release.
style. Yeah.
Yeah.
Off of a strike.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get one step.
Cool.
Yeah.
I
But
mean-
like I said, I'm willing to do Muay Thai as well.
Yeah.
So if you guys are serious, give me a
Oh
call.
yeah. As soon as I tell them or they see this, I'm gonna be.
But I'm not doing boxing
Yeah.
glove.
Right.
I'm going to do MMA gloves.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's so
That's
dope.
one
And
of my
obviously,
favorites.
obviously, amateurs will have to wear elbow pads.
Yeah.
For that. But otherwise, I don't like pads.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I never wanted to. I
Fucking
never
hate
fought
pads.
with pads.
I came up, we were just doing shit weird. We did shit. We wore shin pads, but there were the little cloth ones.
Yeah. That's
in the sanctioning ones. I used to bitch.
that's
I'd be
all
like,
Crew Jones wears, and they're like paper thin.
yeah, I used to
Yeah,
bitch
they're
all the
even
time.
pads,
so
dude.
hard.
I'd be like, what is the point? They're like, it just looks better with
It
the pads
looks
on.
better.
It's just better. I'm like,
A
okay.
little. It takes a little off, but when they're that thin, especially like when you're at the show, you're like, give me like 30 pairs of your thinnest fucking shin cloth.
Yeah, but then I turned pro after about a year of amateur fighting, so the shin pads came right off.
Yeah.
And in the gym, I didn't like wearing pads.
Mm-hmm.
I always got yelled at. Put your fucking pads on.
That is one thing we do make sure everyone wears this. Like I didn't even. Crew Jones always told me, he's like, just buy the fucking sock style. They're cheaper. You can throw them in the laundry basket.
If you're gonna go light sparring, it's fine, no pads. But if you guys are gonna heat it up, I want you wearing your pads.
But yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just so.
And then even the strap-on ones, I've started wearing those style in the last few years, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
They're kind of annoying a little bit.
They're annoying, but I do prefer them a little bit more for, like you said, like when we start throwing a little bit harder, especially like kicks and check kicks with higher level.
I like the
pros and things
thicker
like that.
pads
Yeah.
like that for if you're gonna spar hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Aside
But
from that,
not
like-
for MMA, it sucks. They're
Oh
too-
no,
too
you
big
can't.
and
You can
go-
barely operate
No.
in MMA.
I just use
Catches
little,
on everything.
Use the little guys for MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank
Yeah.
you guys for coming on. It was a
Thanks
blast.
for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to being out there November 7th.
November
Let's go.
7th.
Yep.
Anyone who's looking to fight, get a hold of me. 425-232-4554 is my cell. Or hit me up on social media, on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. You can get a hold of me there, and I'll get you matched up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Make sure you follow Sway City Muay Thai Podcast on all platforms. And go check out Relentless Mouth Guards. We're out here.
Protect your teeth.
Yep,
Yes,
protect your
sir.
teeth.
You don't want this shit.
Ooh.
I should have got his mouth guards a while ago.
I know you do have one of our mouth guards, though.
I do.
Yeah.
I know you had to cut it down.
Well, Jeff did, but yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, but I do have my
Yeah,
relentless
cool.
mouth
And
guard.
we'll make sure you get taken care of for your next fight, too.
Yes,
Hell
sir.
yeah.
Cool.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
thanks a lot, guys. I really
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.